Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello there, and welcome to another live Thursday night on Reconnected this week with somebody that I've had the wonderful pleasure of meeting in person, Mr. Conor Holt. Hi, Conor.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here, and hello to everyone watching, listening.
Love the background, love the shelves. How's everything been lately?
Oh, doing all right. I just got back from a trip home to Minnesota. That was fun. High school friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And, back in LA. But it was surprisingly warm in Minnesota. I was very disappointed. I was ready for sweater weather, but it was actually kind of a heat wave. And it's still pretty warm here in LA because it's in Los Angeles. So not really October in my mind, but I know it is, but it doesn't feel like it. So maybe by November, who knows?
You've been doing kind of a lot of traveling over the last couple months.
I was over in Ireland for a wedding too. I have family in Ireland, so I was there for a cousin's wedding.
Yeah,
so that was a great time. Hadn't been there in many years. And then my biggest trip of the year was I went over to Pennsylvania for the 9th annual VHS Fest at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater. My first time ever going to that, so that was pretty awesome. As you can see, I'm a bit of a fan of VHS.
That's what I was about to say. For anybody that doesn't know or doesn't see, as you can see from the name on the screen, VHS Spectacular is what his name is across social media. So why the VHS love? I'm sure everybody asked that in 2025, but I think it's important, especially on the night when we're going to talk about a studio VHS release as part of the announcement. That's kind of weird.
You're right. I think that's just indicative of how VHS is coming back, baby. As a 90s kid, I grew up with VHS. I have a lot of memories of popping in those tapes, renting them from Hollywood Video or Blockbuster, whatever you chose. And so it's a lot of nostalgia for me. But then definitely it was around like 2018 I started like, hey, I really like VHS. I think it's kind of it's fun to collect, the look of it, the feel of it, nostalgia, but also realizing there were a lot of films that weren't available on DVD or Blu-ray. So I wanted to collect those or different versions, like, edited versions or unreleased versions. So I started collecting those. And then during COVID, there was a big explosion of people creating VHS accounts, sharing, swapping tapes, selling, buying. And then once things opened up again here in Los Angeles, we had 2 stores open up right afterwards. We had Be Kind Video and Whammy, both places that sell VHS tapes, like in a real location. And there's been so many VHS swaps now here in Los Angeles because I started seeing them like in like Austin or Seattle. Like, hey, we got to do this in Los Angeles, and now Los Angeles has so many of them. Like every weekend, there's a VHS swap. It seems. So and now we're seeing studios put out these sort of anniversary VHS. Actually, right here, I saw the TV Glow
nice
VHS tape. Look at that, baby! And this one feels right to me because it's a film that wasn't a VHS, but it obviously should be based on the movie. It is like what's in the movie and the topic that it's exploring. It makes sense on VHS.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that exists. I also don't want to open it. It's too precious. But I think that's just, we've seen the vinyl grow and grow every year. Some musicians put out their albums on cassette tapes now as well. So I think now we're seeing these new VHS tapes. We're seeing this kind of like, hey, people will pay for nostalgia.
It's true.
Is that not a recession
like
indicator?
About tonight that was on VHS. The American Psycho is something that was previously on VHS, and so to get it again,
I know it's and that one's funny because like it was released on VHS, so like now it's a new VHS. Like, so is it better than my old VHS? Whatever.
I mean, it's new. You can guarantee no mold, I guess.
I guess you're right. I remember
hopefully
years on the Pulp Fiction DVD or one of his interviews, Tarantino talked about how like he wasn't a fan of VHS because of pan and scans, but he said, I personally approved it, so I have personally done all the panning and scanning myself, so it's a good VHS. Don't worry, I approved all the panning and scanning that happens in the film. Like, all right, well, he checked it out.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, lots of VHS love over the last couple of years from multiple companies. I mean, you got places like Lunch Meat that's still doing
Yeah.
special editions multiple times a year. You've got TerrorVision doing stuff on VHS.
Yeah.
You've got A24 has done a few now. I think it's not just one.
Yeah, they did Climax as well. Yeah,
that's one of the other ones. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, more and more of these are doing well. I mean, even like Scarecrow Video, you can still rent VHS over the internet.
Shout out to Scarecrow. What an incredible video store. Yeah, the fact that they have VHS, so many available to rent. Like, you have to like put down a deposit, I think.
Yeah.
Because Scarecrow does allow you to rent DVDs through the mail, which is awesome. I've done that, but yeah, you can't rent the VHS through mail. They're protected, which is good. But here in LA, I volunteer with Vidiots, which is a major video store, and it has a cinema as well. But they have a huge collection of VHS as well, so I'm helping volunteer with them to catalog and eventually digitize all of their rare VHS tapes. So hopefully in a few years, maybe we'll be able to rent those as well.
Yeah, would be swell.
Yeah, there's so many that just we can't, like we'll talk about one tonight that I didn't think would get a Blu-ray, and it's being announced tonight. So we'll talk about that. But like, yeah, just like you don't know. Like sometimes you may wait years and it still isn't available on disc.
That's true. You also, I mean, I don't know how much you want to reveal. You work some in the industry. Can you share some of what you do?
I work in post-production, mostly in reality TV. So yeah, like I moved out here to Los Angeles after college. So I'm happy to working in the industry, doing something creative, but I love that I also have hobbies like my Instagram account and I do a lot of VHS swaps here, and I just love it. I love it. Like, there's so many things to do in LA. I can volunteer at a cinema. I can volunteer at Gardena Cinema, which is a little family-run independent cinema. I can check out Beyond Fest or Cinecon Classic Film Festival.
Yeah,
I wrote about silent and classic films that aren't available on disc either.
Yeah, and that was the next thing I was going to bring up. Is you've also written, gosh, and now it's been the vast majority of the
I try.
Physical Media Advocate. You've been incredible, which has led to us meeting in person. But yeah, what are some of the better stories that have gone on for writing for that? Because I know Cinecon was a big deal.
Yeah.
Alex Ross Perry was a big deal.
Yeah, that was really great. That Alex Ross Perry did the documentary Video Heaven this year, which if you're a video store guy like me, it's just catnip. It was just pure catnip. It was amazing to watch, and getting to talk to him about the movie. And he was great because he's just like, yeah, I'm open to anyone who wants to talk about it. I'll talk about it. Any publication. I just want to promote this movie. It's I know that there's fans of video stores out there. I want to make sure they hear about it. So he was very nice to talk to, and I got to meet him. I ran to at VHS Fest. And then I came to LA for a Q&A, so I saw him twice then. Yeah, so like it was very cool to talk to him, and I gave him a physical copy of the magazine, so he was very appreciative.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of that, you do a lot of events around LA and all that stuff too. What's been one of the more exciting ones for this year for you that are specifically in LA that people around the country really can't get to?
Well, like Beyond Fest just wrapped here in LA. That was great. I went to a anniversary screening of The Ring with Gore Verbinski there to introduce it.
Nice.
It was fun. And LA has so many things.
Too many
things. Like there's the Bob Baker Marionette Theater. There's screenings at Whammy and Be Kind Video, and there's VHS swaps. So many VHS vendors I work with, and we do swaps all year round. I did a screening. I hosted a screening recently of El Mariachi on VHS. We projected it on a movie screen on VHS. That was fun.
Nice.
It looks surprisingly good. Like actually, like that tape holds up. It looks good. Like it was a low budget film, but it feels right almost on VHS because he made that film for the VHS market. So
it's Rodriguez. I think most of his films kind of fit on VHS too.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting some of them in 4K. It's crazy.
I know, yeah, that's the craziest thing. But yeah, and definitely check out the Mexico trilogy box set from who was it in England?
It was
My friend
Arrow.
Arrow, yeah. My friend Carlos Aguilar wrote the essay for that box set, so that was pretty cool.
Nice. Well, not only VHS, you buy a lot of physical media and promote all of that. So
Dude.
what else have you been getting in lately?
Oh, I'm a big '90s guy and nostalgia, so I'm also I collect a couple toys and figurines. I feel like I'm not saying my parents didn't buy me stuff as a kid, but I feel like there was a certain unspoken like, hey, you get Christmas, maybe birthday, that's it. And now
Yeah.
adult money, I'm going a little haywire here with all. Hey, I never bought all the Hook toys. I'm gonna collect all the Hook toys. I deserve those. I've got the Hook. I've got the Hook Happy Meal toys and everything else. Not everything. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I wouldn't be upset if I were to pick up the Batman the Animated Series Batcave again that I had as a kid. Batcave is so perfect.
That sounds fun.
So what about some Blu-rays and stuff? Anything you want to show people?
Sure. Well, yeah. Here, I'll go through some things I've been picking up. So at VHS Fest, here I got Bebe's Kids on VHS.
Oh, nice.
I know it's on Blu-ray now. I'm very happy it's a Blu-ray, but this is pretty cool, like an actual. I just discovered this like a few years ago. I think it's terrific. So much fun.
Yeah.
Underrated film. Alien from LA.
Nice.
What's his name? Pyun. Definitely, kooky film, a lot of fun.
Another one that I would say pretty much everything he's done fits on VHS.
Oh yeah. And I have his film Radioactive Dreams, which is still trapped on VHS. Hopefully one day it gets the Blu-ray. So I was in Ireland and I picked up Adam and Paul, which is what's his name? Lenny Abramson, who did Room.
Okay.
This is one of his first films, but it's not available in the US. No one released in the US. So, and also the fun thing is that it's Tower Records, because Dublin still has a Tower Records. It's Dublin and Tokyo are the only cities in the world that still have Tower Records.
Wow.
So glad I could support them. All right, what else we got here?
Supporting Tower Records in the 2020s.
Exactly. All right, some other recent pickups. Northern Lights. I'm a big fan of this movie. I'm so happy this is finally out. I actually talked to the directors like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, "Hey, I hope this one gets a Blu-ray someday." Like, well, we're working on it, and finally this year, it finally happened. So I'm so thrilled. I love great Minnesota or Midwest film.
Yeah.
North Dakota classic. Really beautiful film. Xanadu. I heard you guys talk about this. Like, I gotta get that. Love Xanadu. What a film. So wild, so kooky. Yeah. There was like a 45th anniversary here in LA a few months ago where what's his name? Michael Beck was there at a screening. I missed the screening, but I went to like the after party where people were hanging out. That was fun. Just seeing all super fans who love this movie so much.
Yeah.
Great LA movie too. Filmed all over the city. Tragedy of Man from Deaf Crocodile.
Incredible release.
Gotta check this out because I love Yankovic's other films. I love Son of the White Mare and Johnny Corncob. So excited to check this out. I love Deaf Crocodile. I love what they do. Beautiful releases. Gunbuster. It's an anime OVA series.
Nice.
From this is from Discotheque Media. Yeah, I'm so happy this exists because it's from what's his name? Hideaki Anno before he did Evangelion. So one of his earlier works, but very hard to find for a long time.
Yeah, Discotheque doing some great stuff lately.
Oh yeah, I love Discotheque. I'm so happy we have Discotheque for all the anime, vintage stuff, and then we have Deaf Crocodile for all the non-anime, and then we also have G-Kids there as well. Kind of.
Yeah.
So between the three of them, we're getting a lot of great animation.
It's true.
What do we got? Oh yeah, from Cinematograph, I've got Breathless. They did a pop-up here in LA in person, so it was great to pick this up. I need to watch this because I love LA movies, so I need to watch this one because anything shot in LA interests me. And then finally, I've got Blood Cult from DeGosser Video. This one's crazy because it's not streaming anywhere, so I haven't even seen this one yet. I don't really do blind buys that often. I try to limit myself things. If I love it really. I try to keep more to that, but this one like straight up isn't streaming, and it's the first shot on video horror film. So I was like, I need to get this so I can watch it. So
It's a piece of history.
exactly. So because this is, and as the joke goes, I love when these obscure horror films have hours and hours of special features, interviews, making ofs,
Yeah.
and then you have like Best Picture winners that have a trailer.
Yep. Maybe the
Maybe.
classic interactive menu as a special feature.
Oh, interactive menu. I love it.
I've got
you?
a couple
Yeah.
here that are pretty special. One that I've not seen many people talk about, and there's a couple loud people complaining about these not being perfect. So I'm kind of curious to see how imperfect they are. But I personally, I don't think I've talked too much in depth about this, but I have 5 tattoos. 2 of them movie related. One is the Muppets, which I've said many times. The other one is I have a Peanuts tattoo. So here is the Peanuts Ultimate TV Specials collection that just came out. For what this is, I feel like this was very fairly priced. It's like $65 or $70.
Okay.
And this is literally like all of the TV specials that they can release.
Sure.
I think there's still 4 or 5 that have not been released on. I think they might be on DVD.
Is Snoopy the musical in there?
I think it is.
Okay, I
but
thought that was the rarest one. I've seen that film on VHS, but I wasn't sure if it was available on DVD.
now it's mostly like licensing problems, like the Snoopy at the Super Bowl one that they can't ever show.
Wow.
But yeah, there's like 4. Do they have the number in here? Yeah, there are 40 full specials in this, and
that's
pretty incredible for like $60, $70.
Yeah, because you can buy like a Blu-ray of just the Charlie Brown Christmas for like 20. Like,
right.
It's just Charlie Brown Christmas, and they charge you 20 for that. Like, if you just want to get them all 60, that feels like a pretty good deal.
It's a decent deal.
Yeah.
Just got this in, so I haven't checked it out yet. But BFI's Short Sharp Shocks Volume 4. I have enjoyed all of the ones that they've done for these. There's always been at least half of them that I've never even heard of, let alone seen. And they're genuinely like short, not they call them shocks. I won't say they're all horror, but they're all like cult or cult adjacent, at least, or genre adjacent. So yeah, eager to get into this one. I hope they just keep going with these. This line is really, really cool. Another classic animation, since I knew that you and I would both be championing that a little bit, but Warner Archive, I feel like, has had a killer year and a half. The Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. This was just recently on sale. I couldn't say no. Like, it's been on the wish list for the longest time. And I mean, for a 2-disc, really great release, it was way too cheap. And then you also shared Deaf Crocodile. I just got in Serious, and for anybody that has not seen, not only like the film, because most people have not yet, but just the art on this is like, I don't normally harp too much on the physical package, but Deaf Crocodile does literally like one of the top 2 or 3 companies in the game for the art that they do. And speaking of that, new pre-orders are tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific for their next release. It is a trilogy of films with art by friend of the channel, Mr. Sam Smith, that did the art for his first release for Deaf Crocodile. And it is pretty incredible. And I really hope people check it out, although it is very different from every Deaf Crocodile release so far for their art. And I think some people are going to be like kind of taken aback by it, but you got to take a moment and look at the picture, because there's like a message in the message, and it's really wonderfully done.
Nice.
What have you been watching last few weeks?
Well, I just saw the new Kiss the Spider Woman, the new music version. I really enjoyed it.
Weekend too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think Tonatiuh and Diego Luna are phenomenal together.
Yeah.
They're really fantastic. I really enjoyed the musical numbers with Jennifer Lopez. I haven't seen the original, actually, so now I'm curious to go back and watch that to see how it compares. But I thought it was really, really good. I just hopefully people check it out. I know it's kind of, it's a busy time at the box office, but hopefully people will go see it. I think it's worth checking out.
It surprised me. I had never seen the original. I went into this knowing very little about the film itself. But yeah, the 2 leads, and not, I know Diego Luna, because he's like very well known, is probably going to get a little bit more of the spotlight between the 2 of them. But man, they both are just 100% on fire in this film.
Yeah.
really well acted, really vulnerable roles. I mean,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not go into the movie expecting them to have a multiple minutes long conversation about diarrhea, and
Hey, it's prison, man. You ever
it
seen
is
you ever see
prison.
Hunger? The
Of course.
the film about Belfast, like the painting the swirls on the walls with feces. Yeah, prison's rough, man.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's quite in your face queer, which I really enjoyed
Yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
It did not hold anything back. Nice to see. Um, I liked it quite a bit. Anything else from you?
What is it? One Battle After Another, really good.
Miller.
DiCaprio killing it as usual. He's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, he's always good. He's one of our best, really. But also Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor, Benicio del Toro, just phenomenal performances. And that ending, that final chase scene, one of the best scenes of the year. Yeah.
Growing up in the high desert in Southern California,
Yeah.
that last like 20 minutes of that movie was so like I feel like I'm back home because so many of those, like as a kid, that you see the road go up and down like that and you're just stuck in it. Oh my gosh, it was so perfectly shot.
Yeah. I was looking up here in LA. I got to see it on VistaVision at the Vista Theater here, Tarantino owned theater, and that was really great. And just like it's been sold out like almost every day. I mean, every showing sold out for the last like 2 weeks. So I had to
If
go
you're
out
in
at
LA,
10
you kind of have to go see it in Vista.
Yeah, I had to see it 10 a.m. on a Friday. Yeah.
The night crew from the night before were still working. That's fun.
I just saw what's his name. Dennis mentioned
Craig.
what was it about the Riverbend screening? Yeah. I
Played
missed
at
that.
the
I wanted to
Aero
go to
Theater.
that. I wish I could have gone to that because I think I have Riverbend on VHS somewhere because I picked it up one time.
No way. That's
and now
awesome.
once again, like that was a film that was on VHS for decades, and now it's coming out on Blu-ray. I think so. Hey, you never know. Things will happen.
Coming out on Blu-ray after a 6K restoration, like that's amazing.
Amazing 6K
for a Sam Furstenberg film.
I don't even know what 6K. I don't, is that does a 6K play in the Sphere in Vegas? Like, what is the point of a 6K?
Was it Wizard of Oz? Something. I guess Wizard of Oz played the Sphere, but something recently got a 12K restoration. I don't remember which one it was.
When will they learn? How many Ks do you need?
Good stuff. God, that's awesome that you got Riverbend on VHS. This
Somewhere
last
in
weekend,
my mountain of VHS that I can't find.
This last weekend, I also saw Good Boy, the dog focused horror movie. I won't say much about it. It didn't dazzle me or anything, although the dog is incredible. But I think it's really interesting that we get Good Boy and Presence from Soderbergh in the same year because they're both like haunted house movies from the perspective of something else.
Well, it's like, what's it called? I just watched on the plane. I watched Drop, the thriller about the woman who gets like message on phone. Don't tell anyone. Follow my rules or your kid dies. Which is like, I just saw Carry On last year, which is about a TS agent is like starts getting messages like follow my rules or your wife dies. Like, is this the thing? Like the mysterious stranger in your ear telling you to kill someone or you die? Like, is this a trend now? What's the next one gonna be? Like on your Apple Watch? I don't know. Well, I like that one's an airport. This one's a restaurant. It's like I heard a joke one time. They had snakes on a plane. Thriller in a tight space. Next, they're gonna have a bear on a ski lift. Even smaller space.
I mean, to be fair, Adam Green's Frozen came out in 2010, and that's
true. You're right. We did have that.
As close as you can get to that.
But there wasn't a bear though. They should have had a bear.
There was wolves, just not
wolves. Okay. Well, I didn't see it. There we go. Should have watched it.
I also got lucky enough to see Black Phone 2 a couple days ago at an early screening. I liked this quite a bit more than the first one. Not that I hated the first one, but this is a very big departure from the Black Phone. It is an odd, very different, like supernatural take on the continuation of the story. It's also one of those sequels that is also a sequel and prequel baked in one, because they not that they're like retconning things, but they're taking the lore and expanding it in a way that you have to know a little bit more about it. So they do that somewhat.
Okay.
But it's good. I think the acting is pretty spot on throughout the whole thing. There's a couple of comedic moments that are quite funny, but I think it's scarier. I think the essential like Nightmare on Elm Street riff that they go for in it is pretty decent for a film that seemed like there was no way to do a sequel. I thought they held their own pretty well.
I saw Megan 2 on the plane as well, which is also
Nice.
an interesting sequel. You know, not as much fun as the first one, but like, all right, I appreciate like trying to expand it. Just wasn't quite as good, but still entertaining.
Yeah, I'm eager to see Megan Tokyo Drift next.
Megan in space.
Please, yeah. Let's boot her out of here. I gotta be honest. My big surprise from this last weekend was Roofman. The Channing
fun.
Tatum film. I was just completely taken with both Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst is incredible in the movie. She doesn't even have like a ton to do, but just being the actress that she is, like the lines on her face in every scene are telling a story. She's a wonderfully responsive actor, and the story itself is compelling. I do think people that are, checking this out because they love like mainstream Channing Tatum are probably going to walk into a theater and be slightly disappointed because they're going to say it drags a little bit in the middle of it. But really, I felt like all it did was like it gave proper not just explanation or exposition, but like you start to really empathize with all of the characters. And with a movie like this, that's kind of a rare thing. Usually it's like, let's just get to the next plot point and call it a day, but they actually give them room to breathe in this. And I gotta be honest, I was very surprised with how successful the entire thing was.
No, that's great. I've been a Dunst fan my whole life, man. All the way back to Interview with the Vampire and Jumanji, Drop Dead
Nice.
Gorgeous. Man, Kirsten Dunst, awesome actress.
Yeah, keep wearing that Dunst cap. That was a terrible joke. Anything else that you want to shout out?
Not much else really. Support. It's Halloween, so support your repertory cinemas if you can. I feel a lot of cinemas are playing like your Screams and your Nightmare on Elm Streets or your Halloweens, but go support them. Repertory cinemas are a wonderful thing, and if you got one near you, go out and buy a big popcorn and have a good time because we got to support these cinemas as well as our physical media.
Of course. Speaking of physical media, I just remembered because I must have forgotten to put it in Letterboxd, but we showed our kids Child's Play this week. It was a good time. I put in the 4K of it, which I gotta say, that movie a lot grainier than I remember. Very grain heavy film scan on that one. Good movie. It's fun. It's nowhere near even like my top 4 of the whole franchise probably, but
I've only seen the first one actually. So yeah, what's the best sequel?
I truly love Bride of Chucky, and even if you don't go that deep into like the comedy, because by Bride of Chucky they're full in just camp mode. Child's Play 2 is very, very good. I think that's the best one by a long shot. I just think it was hilarious because we put in Child's Play, and when it takes a minute to see the title screen, so my kid didn't know what it was at first, and then when it might have been like the good guy doll packaging finally shows up, and he went, "Is this Chucky?" And I said, "Yes, this is Child's Play." And he goes, he put his hands like this and says, "Is it rated R?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He goes, "My first rated R." So yeah,
was that a tough choice picking your first R-rated film for him?
It kind of has been because there's a lot of really great PG-13s that set the stage, and then this for a rated R film, this is really tame. Like they say fuck 3 times, and I think that's the only reason that it's rated R. But
right, okay, and
there's not even much gore.
He's creepy, but he tries to strangle her or pull her hair, but it's not really gory, But because at the screening of The Ring, Verbinski talked about like making The Ring as P-13, and how that was always intention because they wanted it to be available for a wider audience. But like that film is a pretty hard P-13, and it was definitely like a lot of kids, that was probably their first like really scary horror film in theaters. Like, whoa, this is really scary for that I can go see. You know, they pushed as far as they could with that PG-13. But my first R-rated film, I think, like at home, honestly, might have been like Braveheart, because my dad's a big like historical epic guy. So it might have been like Braveheart, maybe Saving Private Ryan or something. Like my dad loves war films like that.
Good
So
movies.
or Dance with Wolves R-rated? I might have seen
Probably.
that probably. Yeah, probably.
I think
so
I think there's some nudity in that one.
Yeah, so I saw that pretty young too. Yeah, we love those kind of sweeping epics. And then my first R-rated in theater, I don't think was till Grindhouse. That was a lot of fun. That was a good time.
That's a fun first rated R in theater. I don't even know what my first R in theater was. That's a good question. I technically, I guess at home, my first R was also Child's Play. I just put that together, but I was 4 years old and a babysitter showed me. Should not have been watching it.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think the first R that I will like remember was Halloween. I was 8 years old. My parents showed me Halloween, and it scared the shit out of me. I for the rest of the night, I was like completely frozen, would not move my limbs, couldn't do anything.
I remember seeing. Remember the Goosebumps, the haunted mask, the mask that won't come off. I saw that as a kid. That freaked me out for days.
Unplanned, but I'm wearing a Goosebumps sweater right now.
Incredible episode. Incredible
good stuff. I loved me some Goosebumps growing up.
Yeah, I was a Goosebumps. I didn't grow up with Are You Afraid of the Dark? I didn't have that, but I had Goosebumps.
Nice. All right, are we ready to talk about some? Normally I'd say Blu-rays, but VHS even tonight.
It's all the table. It's all physical media, baby.
Let's do it. Before I show the first title, I got to shout out. Most weeks after the show, I hang out for a while and I talk to my dear friend in the chat here, Mr. D. Sibner. And last week we were talking and we said, when the hell is Second Sight actually going to reveal Possession? And last Thursday night, I said, watch. I have a feeling it's going to be tomorrow morning. They're going to announce it, and it's going to come out on December 15th, and it's going to be a wonderful 4K box set with the original art so they don't piss people off. And all of that came true, except for I was off on the release date by 1 week. So our first title, Possession, coming on 4K and Blu-ray in the UK from Second Sight on December 8th. We got a brand new producer-approved 4K restoration with HDR and Dolby Vision. We got a dual format 3-disc edition with a 4K and 2 Blu-ray discs if you go for their deluxe. You've got the North American edit and the uncut edit on here as well. There's new audio commentary by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Allison Taylor. We've got some archival commentaries as well. We got a new commentary on the North American edit version from Daniel Bird and Manuela Lozic. We've got Kat Ellinger speaking on Possession. We've got the U.S. reception featurette on here, interview with the composer, all kinds of archival extras. And then, of course, big book, 220-page hardback book with new essays by Daniel Bird, Elena Lozic, and Allison Taylor, plus some old writing on the film. And then, if that's not even enough, another book, 211-page original shooting script with notes by Schwofsky himself and Frederick Tooten. Yeah, this is a hell of a release.
My God.
Possession. How do you feel about Possession?
I haven't seen it actually, but it's crazy. I've been told to watch it so many times. I see it all the time. Oh, I gotta watch Possession. Like, I definitely feel it's definitely one of those, like, I feel in the last few years people are discovering it. Like, oh, you gotta watch this. So I'm late to the party, but definitely this is gorgeous. The fact that it's always incredible to see what they're doing with physical media, how much they're giving you, the script, the box set, it's wild. And like, so I haven't seen it, but it's like there are certain movies, like if my favorite movie got this box set, like I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing.
So Stan is asking in the chat, how overpriced is it? Now, for a 4K and 2 Blu-ray disc release with 2 giant books in a full box set with 6 art cards and all the Second Sight extras and all that stuff, U.S. retailers are selling this for $65. To me, that doesn't seem overpriced at all for this giant of a release. I will point out that a studio this week announced a VHS release of American Psycho, and that was $30. And that sold out. So yeah, this is to me, this seems very fairly priced for 400 pages worth of books plus 3 discs in a box. Yeah, that's a decent
Yeah,
price.
like I said, like if this is your favorite movie, hey, my friend Joey's there. Hey, my friend Razor Crank there.
He wants you to watch Possession with him.
We can watch it together, Joey. Cause yeah, like I think, but like I said, like, if this is your favorite movie, and you're obsessed with knowing more about it, then this is what you want to get. This is what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it, Eric Vincent. I understand. Like, I just bought the international release.
Yeah.
I that's happened. We'll talk about one of these films tonight. Like, I was almost gonna buy it. Like, I'm gonna wait, and then yes, a U.S. release came. Like, good. I don't have to buy the form and pay the shipping. Yeah. But you're right. It's always should I wait? Should I get it now? You don't know. It's a tough.
It's
decision.
tough. Especially when you start talking about territories, and Possession will likely eventually also get a US release. But I mean, at this point, $65, it's not that bad for what you're getting for this, for sure. But if that's not enough, you could also on the same day get a wonderful 4K box set of Reanimator from Second Sight. Now, this one's interesting because we do have a US release of this that probably less people than normal got, because the US release of this is roughly about $85 US. And this thing, which has almost the same amount of features, there's a few less, but it's the same scan, all that stuff. This one only $50, and that's importing it from another country. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Reanimator, that's a fun. Actually, that turns 40 years old this week, I think.
That sounds right.
That's a fun movie. I haven't seen the sequel, but man, Reanimator is a good time. It's a wacky fun movie.
Yeah, love this movie. Love me everybody associated with this silly franchise. I mean, it's hard to turn down Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs and Stuart Gordon. This is amazing. Check out Reanimator. I will say the 4K looks amazing. This will make anybody happy that has either never seen it, or maybe you're upgrading all the way from VHS or DVD. It's huge. If you already got the Blu-ray, the Arrow Blu-ray, it is a step up, but don't feel like you have to get it. That Arrow Blu-ray was absolutely incredible when it came out, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Second Sight, and now it's time to get into Terror Vision, putting out their Shoestring Slashers Volume 2 box set. This is coming in first quarter of 2026. You can pre-order this now as part of their 13 weeks of Halloween. Use the code COMBINE, all capitals, if you want to save on shipping and you've already got something in. The films in this, we've got Blood Symbol. This one is on the next page, so I don't know the year. 1992. The next one in the box set is Night of the Dribbler. I
love that cover.
It's such a silly cover.
It's a fun cover. I like it.
It is such a fun cover. Night of the Dribbler, I Am Lost. This one is 1990. And then the third and final one in here is Bloodspell, and that is 1988. I believe at least 2 of these were shot on video this time. It might even be all 3. But these are pretty damn fun. I won't say that they're all incredible movies, but they're definitely fun. And if you like obscure slashers, it really doesn't get more obscure than what they've done in their Shoestring Slashers box set so far. I think you're gonna be happy. Plus, all of them, lots of extras. We've got people that are involved in the films. Alexandra Heller Nicholas is doing visual essays. There is a lot to get into here. New commentaries, new interviews. Every single film gets a bunch of new extras. Have you seen any of these 3?
No, I haven't seen any of these. But so once again, I'm happy that we're at a point where even the most obscure films are getting proper releases. That's very exciting. I think that's a good thing for everyone. But man, yeah, I have never heard of any of these.
Yeah, that is the way to do it, especially when you're calling it shoestring. Then we got a whole bunch. Like, Warner Archive has stepped up their output. For a long time, we were happy getting maybe 3 releases in a month, and now they're like, screw it, we're releasing everything. So we've got a big month. All of these coming on November 18th on Blu-ray in the US from Warner Archive. First one, we've got the Marx Brothers at the Circus from 1939. This has the Our Gang comedy short Dog Days on it, the MGM cartoon Jitterbug Follies. We've got the Leo is on the Air radio promo, which is an audio-only thing, and then a theatrical trailer on here. Marx Brothers, seen much from them?
I haven't seen this one, but I love Duck Soup. That's a classic. But yeah, I've seen Duck Soup, and I've seen is it Marx Brothers? Is it the opera? Or is it? That's the one. The other one. I forget the one. That one. Duck Soup, definitely great, but I definitely should see more Marx Brothers. It's one of those like. I keep saying I should just like a couple of things. I should just watch all Marx Brothers. I never see any W.C. Field. I should watch all of W.C. Field. You know, because I've seen like I love Chaplin, so I've seen basically every Chaplin film. But there's definitely Night of the Opera. Thank you. There's definitely some like the Thin Man series. I've seen none of those. There's like 5, 6 of those movies. I just watch those sometime. You know?
That's a good series.
Yeah.
So that's the Marx Brothers. Next is The Iron Mistress. This is from 1952 with Alan Ladd and Virginia Mayo. This one has the WB cartoons Cracked Quack and Hair Lift, and then the trailers on there as well. 4K scan of the original Technicolor camera negatives on this one. This is bound to look gorgeous. Warner Archive just does incredible work on their restorations. I had somebody comment on this one, and I feel like it was somebody here. It might have been Jim Tudor. Jim, if you're watching, hi. I think he said, "I'll take an Alan Ladd, please hold the mayo," and I laughed quite a bit.
Very good. Yeah.
Next up, speaking of the Thin Man, we've got the 2 stars of the Thin Man, William Powell and Myrna Loy in I Love You Again. This is from 1940. This one's going to have the Lux Radio Theater broadcast with Myrna Loy and Cary Grant. And then Fitzpatrick Travel Talk short subject, Cavalcade of San Francisco, plus an MGM cartoon, The Milky Way, and a trailer. Once again, 4K scan of the preservation elements. I've never seen this one, but Powell and Loy are great together, so I'm sure this is incredible.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sounds good to me.
Moving to our next one, we've got It's Love I'm After with Leslie Howard, Betty Davis, and Olivia de Havilland. This one is from 1937. We got a classic Warner Brothers cartoons, Porky's Building and Porky's Bad Time Story, and a trailer. I know nothing about this. I know a couple of the actresses, and that is it.
I'm curious, how do they pick which cartoons go with which release? I'm wondering, are they thematically linked? Is it just whatever was next on the availability? But I wonder if it was how much decision making goes into picking the cartoon.
If George Feltenstein ever answers my emails, that will be one of the questions I ask, because I've always wanted to know. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it could be chronological, I guess. Like, did they come out the same year as the film?
Yeah, sure, that could be it. Yeah.
I'd love to know. God, I'd love to know. All right, that's that one. Next up is The Miracle from 1959. This has a cartoon Bonanza Bunny and Arabian Nights on here. Also has a trailer. And then again, like we talked about with Riverbend, 6K scans of the original Technicolor camera negatives. That's wild. This is going to be beautiful, no doubt. Just amazing. Next up is Silver River with Errol Flynn. We're going to be talking about him in just a few minutes again. November 18th for this one again. This is from 1948. We got the classic Warner Brothers cartoons Rabbit Punch and Two Gophers from Texas, plus the trailer on here. And this one is a 4K scan of the original nitrate negatives. And then The Bride Came COD from 1941 with James Cagney and Betty Davis. I have always heard that this one is great. Have not had a chance to see it. This one has quite a lot of extras for Warner Archive. We've got Warner Night at the Movies 1941, a short subject gallery, vintage newsreel, musical shorts, Carnival of Rhythm, and the Oscar-nominated 40 Boys and a Song. We've got classic Warner Brothers cartoons, Porky's Pooch, Rhapsody and Rivets, and Saddle Silly. Saddle Silly. We've also got the theatrical trailer for Honeymoon for Three, plus a bonus cartoon, The Bird Came COD, then a Lux Radio Theater broadcast of The Bride Came COD with Bob Hope and Hedy Lamarr, plus the trailer. And yes, this is a 4K scan. Like, that is a lot for a Warner Archive disc. And this is going to go on sale for like $13. How do you argue with that?
Yeah. No, and what's it called? Like, I feel like a lot of these films, I wonder, I was talking about, Cinecon Classic Film Festival. A lot of these played there maybe over the years, and now they're finally coming to Blu-ray. So I'm sure someone out there is like, "Oh, finally! I've been waiting for this film for years." So whoever
I
that
just
is,
wish there was a way to order this COD as well. So that is that for Warner Archive. Next up, we've got interesting rollout for how Severin is doing this. We had it revealed that on December 8th, they are releasing a 4K of The Wild Geese, but only in the UK. As it turns out, they're also releasing this in the US, but that will be early next year. So if you're over in the UK, you can order this from the severinfilms.co.uk website now. This is a 3-disc limited set. It's going to have an exclusive 50 Men in the Valley of the Shadow, a 316-page color hardbound book on the making of the Wild Geese by Tony Earnshaw. There's a original soundtrack CD on this. There is 6 UK Lobby Guard reproductions. And then brand new commentaries, brand new extras, all kinds of stuff coming in this. And yes, all of this will be coming to the US, but you got to wait till later this year to be able to pre-order. I had a lot of people ask if this is the first Severin UK release. Not at all. They actually have many is relative compared to what they've done in the US, but they have more than a handful. They put out the Russ Meyer stuff in the UK. Years ago, they put out Baskin in the UK. They've done some stuff, but they don't do quite enough over in the UK for sure.
No, I've never heard of this film, but Severin's a good company, yeah.
Yeah, they do some solid stuff. And I had a lot of people ask, this is a weird one for Severin to put out. I think Severin puts this out because I think this is a David Gregory favorite because it was popular in the UK and he's from the UK. So
this is a
would make sense.
Personal favor for him.
That and all the video nasties are all his wish,
sure.
That's for sure.
Sure.
This year's film, Red Sonja, is getting a Blu-ray release from Goldwyn Films on November 11th. I have heard the just most polar opposite feelings of this, that this is amazing, and that this is a crime against humanity. I have a feeling you have not seen this one yet.
No, I didn't even know this existed. I remember Robert Rodriguez and Rose McGowan were trying to make this remake like 10 years ago and never went anywhere. So I had no idea that someone finally made it. But yeah, that poster doesn't give much hope, but I don't know.
I gotta be honest, unless it's a giant theatrical film, the modern posters don't do a lot for me, but many of those aren't doing great either. I feel like we're letting streaming services dictate poster choices nowadays. And streaming services, the key art that they use for those are just the most atrocious and bland pieces of crap ever.
Yep. Totally agree. Just close up of a face. Yeah.
If you're lucky. And like maybe the title sometimes.
You like George Clooney. Click on his face.
You'll watch anything with that slob in it. Speaking of terrible posters, coming out on October 27th in the UK on Blu-ray from Dazzler Media is Diced. This is the worst title ever. Diced Reloaded. I have heard this is awful. It definitely looks awful. Adam, thank you for that. I'm going to go back to that last one as we were talking about it. I meant to bring this up at the beginning and totally forgot. It's kind of crazy in a week where we have lost Hollywood great in Diane Keaton, a music great in Ace Frehley, that possibly overshadowing both of them is by far the most prolific, most well-known cinematic poster artist of all time, Mr. Drew Struzan. He has done many of the most famous posters that you've seen. The most famous posters for Star Wars that are giant are just some of the examples of stuff that you've appreciated from him and just probably not even known the name for many people. Drew is a powerhouse of talent. He's had books dedicated to his oeuvre. He is just...
The documentary about him is great.
Yeah, it's incredible. Oh God, see, Brendan brought up D'Angelo. For some reason, I thought D'Angelo was last week. That's why I didn't say anything. It's been a crazy week for big deaths.
Yeah. No, Drew Struzan, they'll be like some of my favorite posters of all time are Drew's. And like, just last week, just a few weeks ago, we lost the Italian poster artist
Yeah.
who did all the posters for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, but yeah, it's rough. Like, you know, I know he had been sick for a while there, but still, it's a major
Yeah.
loss. But yeah, Diane Keaton though, that was really
Yeah.
shocking to me. Actually, I think I just didn't expect it, so that caught me off guard.
Yeah, pneumonia too. They just announced that today.
God.
It's crazy how quick that can
Yeah.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we go from Drew Struzan to Thriller, A Cruel Picture. December 1st, 4K in the UK from Screenbound. This keeps happening that they are putting out Vinegar Syndrome titles essentially on the same disc, but over in the UK, all of this is likely going to be nearly identical to the Vinegar Syndrome release. You got a sticker sheet and a poster if you want it. And for anybody in the UK, this will likely be cheaper if you did not get the Vinegar Syndrome one yet. That being said, I would still trust the Vinegar Syndrome disc over this one. It's probably got better encoding and stuff. But yeah, Thriller, A Cruel Picture. Next up, this year's Anemone is coming on 4K, I think, and I only say I think because of the way that they designed the cover for this. I really kind of do wish that they'd stop printing the words 4K Ultra HD when the case says it as well. But this one says Blu-ray and digital code at the top instead of 4K and Blu-ray and digital code. This one is able to pre-order now over on Groove. And for those that maybe recognize the title, this is the film that brought out the semi-hiatus retired Mr. Daniel Day-Lewis. Both men on the screen gave a wonderful performance in this film. I know that I'm going to piss off Silent Mandible a little bit. I didn't love this movie. I feel like Did you get to see this one?
I did, yeah. I agree. I think the two of them are terrific. I wish like Day-Lewis is phenomenal. I wish Shami's good. I wish he had more to do in the film. I feel like he cedes a lot of the big moments to Day-Lewis. I think it should be a little more of a two-hander, I think. And yeah, I think it's interesting. It has elements like, okay, it's got something to say, but it just doesn't come together satisfying. And I think it's fascinating to me because Day-Lewis, some of his most famous roles, In the Name of the Father and The Boxer, are about Northern Ireland, where he plays an Irishman trapped in Northern Ireland in that conflict, in the Troubles. Yeah. And now we have, for all these years, the reverse of that. Now he's playing a former British soldier. That was just very fun to see him, like, of all things to come back and do after 10 years. This is the project that he comes back with and that he co-wrote with his son. So that was fascinating, just as like a bit of his own like meta-textual quality of his career. Yeah, like he's good in it. I'm happy he's acting in it, but I just wish there was more meat on the bone or something. Yeah,
I agree with that fully. That being said, I will say I really have high hopes for Ronan Day-Lewis to direct more.
Sure,
because
yeah,
it was shot beautifully.
Yeah, it was.
There's a couple scenes in this, specifically like the storm scene is so well done and kinetic, and I would like to see this one again on 4K at home in a dark room, but yeah, it's a good movie. Check it out. It's just not a great movie.
Yeah.
Next, I am so surprised this is getting a release.
This is incredible.
December 2nd, Universal is releasing Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the complete limited series. This was a Netflix limited series. You can pre-order this now. Quite inexpensive, too, for what it is, for it being a Netflix title. Expected more. This is kind of a big deal for a lot of people that were fans of the film because it got pretty much the entire original cast to come back. Yeah. And even Edgar Wright is involved. Like, you could not ask for a better version of an animated show for such a beloved fan base. You clearly love it. Tell us about it.
Oh, I love this show. I think it's phenomenal. And it's so funny because I have a friend who, like, I like Connor, but I wish they had just done the graphic novel. And I understand that argument, like, because if you've seen the show, you know it takes a lot of changes and kind of rewrites the story. But I think what it does with that, I think the changes it makes, the alternative reality it creates is so clever and so unique. It makes me think about it in so many different ways, brings up new makes characters I thought were one way, completely throws them on their head and shows a different side to them. I thought it was, and I love the animation by by Science Saru. It's just beautifully made. Love the cast coming back for this. And yeah, I was just so shocked to see it getting a Blu-ray. I'm thrilled by that.
It's awesome. Next up in Australia, we got a couple 4K announcements. These are both coming on 4K Steelbook from Imprint, and this first one is Beastmaster from 1982, the same film that was put out by Vinegar Syndrome a handful of years ago. This has I believe, pretty much everything that was on the Vinegar Syndrome disc. We've got the special VFX cut on a Blu-ray as well, so it's a big 3-disc release. Tons of extras on here. If you love the film, this is going to be a great way to get it. It is a steelbook from Imprint, which means it's pricey, but it's not like The Last Seduction pricey or Halloween pricey. It's medium pricey.
There's pricey and there's almost pricey. You're lucky your friend is almost pricey.
And if Beastmaster is not enough for you, one that a lot of people lump together, we also have The Sword and the Sorcerer. This one was released here in the States by Scream Factory, another Albert Pune, like we were talking about. We've got a 2-disc release here, again, 4K Steelbook, both of these coming on January 7th of 2026. And yeah, looks like fun releases.
Yeah, it's a fun. I'm just praying for the day we get the Radioactive Dreams Blu-ray. Someone out there, come on, figure out the legal. There's some kind of like copyright or contract kerfuffle, and that's why it's stuck on VHS. But hopefully one day, I would love to see that film get like a fancy edition like this.
I wish. Michael Smith in the comment is responding to the Warner Archive question from 20 minutes ago or whatever. He says that George has said in the past that they try to find out which shorts actually accompanied the films when they came out, and if they can't figure that out, they'll do something thematically, which that makes a lot of sense. I'm glad they do something instead of like Sibner had said, which was literally drawing paper out of a hat.
No, you can pretend you're back in the theater, like how they would have shown it. And you should also, they should have, they should find the newsreel that went with it too. Because I love talking to my grandpa about like, yeah, Connor, when I was a kid, I'd go to the theater, there'd be a newsreel, then a cartoon, then a double feature, and usually it'd be a cowboy film or an action movie. Yeah, like I was like, you want the full 1950s 40s experience.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Next up, we got kind of an odd one to cover. So I do post some Kickstarter, Indiegogo type campaigns sometimes. This one is for a company that we all pretty much know and love, and it's from AGFA. But the interesting thing here is that it's very different from what many of us would be used to seeing in a Kickstarter campaign. So AGFA is raising money to restore the Blood trilogy from Herschel Gordon Lewis. This will be Blood Feast, 2000 Maniacs, and Color Me Blood Red in 4K from the original negatives, as well as the 18 additional Lewis films, including Jimmy the Boy Wonder, Blast Off Girls, that have only ever been released on VHS or DVD. They're partnering with Something Weird on this, and they're going to release that on 4K, UHD, and in theaters afterwards, while the additional films will be released on Blu-ray for the first time ever. They're looking to do like new color grading. They have to get a couple new pieces of equipment and all that stuff. There's a list of all the films that it is. But what has been hard for a lot of people to swallow with this one is you can support the project, but there's no award to get the discs. So a lot of people are like, well, that's cool, but I don't want a digital file of the film. You're AGFA. I want to be able to buy the discs through this. And so I'm worried that they're not going to get to their campaign. I haven't looked. Maybe they've already done it, and I'm an idiot for saying that I'm worried about it. But I feel like if they would have offered, I don't know, all three for like $100, I feel like a lot more people would have been happy to plop down.
I always think that's like, it seems obvious. One of the rewards, a small reward for a digital copy and then a larger reward for a physical copy. That just seems obvious, but I don't know what, maybe there's a reason. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I need to look into this one more because I've not donated or anything like that. I have not considered, but yeah, a lot of people kind of irritated in the comments, which in a way I kind of get it.
Sure.
Speaking of being irritated, I bet a lot of people are irritated about this. In late November, Vinegar Syndrome is releasing The Keep on 4K. What is this? They've done that already. Yes, they're doing it again as part of a new imprint called VSR, and that stands for Vinegar Syndrome Retail. It is a retail-focused initiative designed to provide indie retailers with exclusive re-releases, beginning with Michael Mann's The Keep. This sold out so fast that a lot of people were not able to get a slipcover with it or the booklet, but now you can get both again, almost a year after it's been sold out, and many people have bought standard editions. So, yes, that is the part where people are going to get frustrated. You can already pre-order this at Orbit, Diabolic, Brother Belial. I think Odyssey Movies has it. Lots and lots and lots of people you can pre-order this from online. With art done from a friend of the channel, Mr. Sam Smith, as I mentioned earlier, for the Deaf Crocodile release coming out tomorrow. But yeah, I can see why people would be upset about this.
Yeah, you're right. It's the nature of these. So many of these physical media releases are like sold as limited editions, so you get one chance, and then but if it sells out, maybe they're like, how much? Make some more, but then you sold me limited edition. Well, we made more then. So I'm happy people can check it out. This is a strange film. Like I'm hoping for the day we get the director's cut, or at least the unedited version. Because watching it several years ago, like, this feels like there's scenes missing for sure. There's subplots missing. So I'm hoping for one day maybe we get the even if it's just a bootleg or something, just give me the actual full version. Because it's like I made this list on Letterboxd. It was like early films by great directors that are in the sci-fi horror genre that they've disowned, but they're still pretty interesting. We got The Keep from Michael Mann. We got David Lynch's Dune, Fincher's Alien 3. And I got those three right now. Maybe there's more, but those are all like, all of them have said like, it was a total mess. I hated working on it. It cut so much. Like, but there's still cool stuff in it. I still like these movies. But yes, I would have loved to have seen their unfiltered versions. But like, hey man, I'm a big fan of the Lynch's Dune, despite all the problems it has. But these films are fun. They're interesting. And they're part of a filmography that you might love. So you should check it out.
I would love for somebody to unearth it. I know Michael Mann has said that the material doesn't exist anymore, but man, that was not a pun on this name. But
man,
it would be wonderful if somebody could ever do that. But I'm not crossing my fingers for that one. So. Next, Kino Lorber, December 2nd, Blu-ray coming of Hannah K. This is from 1983. It was starring Gabriel Byrne, Jill Clayburgh, and this has new audio commentary by Elaine Silver and James Orsini. There's a new interview with the actor David Clennon. It's almost 20 minutes long. I know nothing about this other than
here. Dun-da-da. I've seen this because I have the VHS.
Nice.
And I picked this up I don't know, a year ago or something, and like, I should watch this. And then lo and behold, I see, oh wow, it's finally coming to disc. It's never been on disc before, I believe, at least not in the US. So I checked it out. It's very interesting. It's considered the first American or Western film to address the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and be sympathetic towards the Palestinian character. There's a character in the film played by where's his name? I'm not sure I get his name right. He's a Palestinian actor who he's still working today.
Mohammed Bakri?
Mohammed Bakri. How he has become kind of one of the most prominent Palestinian actors now. His children are all actors too, and he plays this man who is arrested for crossing the border illegally because his home falls under Israeli land jurisdiction now, and she is his lawyer who is defending his right to return home to his family ancestral home. So that's really interesting, and he's very good in the film. Unfortunately, I feel like it takes a lot of, like, there's a detour. It's like that's part of the film. There, half the film is she's she has a husband in France, but she's having an affair with a soldier in Israel, and she has a kid. But so there's a lot of like personal stuff that I feel like detracts from that. What's really interesting to me about the story, the actual political story. So it's a bit of a unwieldy film, I feel, but it's still a fascinating piece of history. The fact that it is this sort of landmark film in depictions of Palestine. So I'm really happy it's going to be available. At least people can talk about it and check it out for themselves. Because I know, it's worth checking out, seeing a film in the times we're living in right now, looking back to the 80s and how sadly things have been violent for a long time. It's been very difficult situation for a long time. So I'm happy to see a positive Palestinian character in a film get some discs.
I think saying it's been a long time is quite underselling how long the conflict has been happening.
Exactly.
Next, on December 9th, Kino is releasing the anthology horror film Dead of Night from 1945. I talked about this one fairly recently, so I'll let Connor have his moment. But as far as I can tell, no new extras on this. It does carry over the commentary from Tim Lucas. Have you seen Dead of Night, sir?
I have not. Sorry.
Interesting. I definitely recommend it. If you like horror anthologies, this is the granddaddy.
I love the idea that it's like multiple directors. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to me. Yeah.
It is pretty damn good. It definitely did a lot to set the tone for anthologies.
Cool.
Here's a big one. Next year, Kino is releasing a 4K of Norman Jewison's Jesus Christ Superstar. Have you seen this one, Connor?
I haven't. I was talking to my mom. She said she's a big fan of the musical, so I feel like I should check this out. I know some of this. I know the main song, Jesus Christ, Superstar. I know, but like I've never seen it. No.
It is absolutely worth the watch. Definitely worth your time. This year's Lurker. Did you get to see Lurker?
No, I've heard good things. Yeah, but I missed this one. Yeah.
This one is from this year, coming on November 25th on Blu-ray from Mubi here in the U.S., from what I can tell. No extras that I can find on this one. This is a good movie. This is definitely one that they are entering into like the stalker fandom sort of relationship dichotomy type of genre that has been being built over the last few years. I enjoyed this one in the theater, and I walked out not that I hated it, but it was like, oh, that was a nice like 3.5 star film. And then it just didn't leave my mind for like a week, and I went, oh wait, did I love that movie?
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good. The two main performances in this are incredible, very vulnerable, really well done. Really happy with it.
Cool.
Big for this crowd. Gabby's Dollhouse is getting a Blu-ray release on November 25th from Universal. No joke, I've heard this is actually pretty good. I likely will not see it, but hey, Kristen Wiig is funny.
Oh yeah, hey, Chris Wiig's great. I'm glad she's doing stuff. You ever seen what's the film she made? It's a comedy where she gets her own talk show. Oh God, what is that film?
Oh, yes.
Welcome to Me. That's a fun movie. That's a wild movie. She plays this woman who inherits a lot of money and like starts her own talk show where she interviews people in her life. It's a wild film, but a very good performance from her.
She's always funny. I mean, even in small parts like in Adventureland, she's great in Adventureland. Got Skeleton Twins is amazing. Barb and Star is so good.
She's so good in that. That's such a fun movie.
Next up is The Big Blue, coming to 4K Steelbook over in the UK from Studio Canal on December 1st. This is the brand new 4K restoration that has been going around. You've got a few different discs in this one. You've got the extended cut and the theatrical cut on 4K and Blu-ray. It also has making of documentary. And I've not seen this one, but it is one of the Luc Besson films that's in that upcoming collection that was announced as well.
Cool.
Yeah. This looks like a good steelbook, too. Speaking of steelbooks, next one is Jarhead, coming to 4K steelbook and standard release. This is coming in the UK on December 9th and the US on December 10th. This one has a bunch of archival extras. No interviews or anything that's brand new from what I can tell, but 4K should look good because the Blu-ray in this did not look very good. So I'm hoping this is a nice big update. This is a good movie. It's a semi-hard movie to watch. Did you ever see Jarhead?
No, it's about. Is it about the Desert Storm, or is it about which war is it?
Oh,
The 90s, right?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but it's like, what is the defining film about like the 90s Desert Storm conflict? I guess. Well, I guess Three Kings really is the defining film.
Possibly.
That's the film probably. But look, it was like, is there a defining film about the Iraq War of the 2000s? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a platoon for that war? I don't know. But yeah, never seen it.
Good movie. I kind of like Jake just said, I don't think I've seen this since theaters, so it's been a long time on this one. That was also, not to make it super personal, but it was also a really weird time for me to see this in theaters because I was 18 when this came out, and I had multiple friends being shipped out to Afghanistan.
Wow.
So watching this movie was like, oh, this is not a good time for me to try to be worrying about people.
Ooh, yeah.
Next, it is time for the Arrow Harvest Season Sale. This is happening right now, going on until November 3rd. As usual, the UK sales prices are at least a little bit better than the US prices. So if you are region free, I would check that out. But also remember, there's some Arrow stuff that if you're not region free, it's actually a region free disc. So you don't need to worry about that. And you could get from the UK side. If I remember right, the math is that if you get like 4 titles at least, the free, not free shipping, but the shipping becomes where it's worth it, and stuff is actually cheaper than buying from the US site. So if you're planning on spending more than, we'll say, 4 titles, I think it makes sense to at least check it out. I gotta be honest, I've not been doing a lot of Arrows buying as far as sales titles recently. But what about you, Colton? You check that, or not Colton? I was reading Colton in the chat. Connor.
I don't know.
I was still laughing at Colton's comment where he said, Jarhead's a movie I watched only for Jake Gyllenhaal's butt.
Hey, we all have our personal choices. I don't know. I get Arrow. God, I don't remember the last time I bought an Arrow. I picked up, I don't know, recently I picked up the Arrow's Blu-ray edition of a Legend of the Ridley Scott's Legend, but that's an old release. But I just picked it up because I love that film. Good. Underrated Ridley Scott movie.
It is literally one of the best depictions of the devil in any film.
Yeah, Tim Curry, man, legend
every time. Next, The Americas, the complete limited series from this year, is getting a 4K and Blu-ray release here in the States from Universal. I love the cover image that they're using for this.
They're watching you.
Truly, I've heard this is incredible. Have not even seen a scene from it, but supposedly this is one of the first times that, like, for true nature documentary filmmaking, they're using like proper drones and robotic filmmaking. So they've been able to capture things that they couldn't before.
That's great. That just reminds me of a funny story. I was in Norway a few years ago with family, and we were at we were meeting some it was like up in northern Norway, and we met a reindeer herder, and they said, what's it called? We used to use dogs, or herding dogs, but now we found a great solution. We had a drone, and we have a little audio speaker that plays the herding dog sound, so we can get a drone and just fly it around and like bark, 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 and then the reindeer moves. So we're using modern technology to herd the reindeer. Like, oh, that's very clever.
A drone that says bark is one of the funniest things.
You're walking through the woods like, woof, what's that? Oh, it's a drone.
You hear woof amongst static for some reason. Amazing. All right, next up. A new boutique label, as far as I can tell, has risen from the obscurity over in the UK. And these are both releasing this month on Blu-ray. We are getting Laid to Rest, the Chrome Skull slasher from 2009. This is kind of a big deal because this film has never been released on Blu-ray in the US or the UK, I believe. I think only the sequel was on Blu-ray. So if you are into modern slashers, this might be the one for you. If you buy from them, you get 4 postcards. You get a slipcover and then a reversible sleeve. For extras, it's a bunch of archival extras, but they also, I'm kind of curious to see what this is. They have a torture porn featurette. I wonder how they spent their time doing that. But also, if you want, you can double it up and get the sequel coming out at the exact same time. Laid to Rest 2 Chrome Skull comes out. Yeah, I've never even seen these. Have you seen these?
Never heard of them,
Yeah, very, very curious about this one because, like Jake, I've heard of it a few times. I think there's a German Blu-ray of both of them, but that was the only way that you could get it for the longest time. So now it's nice that people will be able to get it. Unfortunately, if you live in the US, you cannot buy these directly from their site. So I'm just hoping that once they get released, you'll find them on Orbit or Diabolic or Brother Belial or somebody.
Sure.
Yeah, next up is Scars of Dracula. We talked about this last week, I believe, coming from Studio Canal over in the UK, but this is the US version coming from Kino on December 9th. This has a new audio commentary by Tim Lucas, which is going to be exclusive to this one and not on the Studio Canal release. So lots of Tim Lucas fans might be double dipping on this one. Have you seen Scars of Dracula?
No, I've only seen the first Christopher Lee Dracula film. So I know he made so many Dracula films, but I've only seen the first one. So I'm curious how, because I was struck in the first one that he was relatively young. I think he was like in his 30s, something like that, and he just seemed almost too young to play Dracula. I know Dracula's supposed to be immortal, but like he looks too young almost. And, like there's a scene where he like jumps on a table. It's like he's too agile. Dracula shouldn't be that agile and jumping on tables. I don't know. It's an alright film, but I am a pretty big fan of the Lugosi Dracula film. That's still my at the heart of it. That's my Dracula. But yeah, but I love that he made so many Dracula films.
So many.
Like, what is this?
So
is
many.
this number 5? Is this number 12? What is this? I don't even know.
If I remember right, I think it is 5 or 6 or 7, something like that. Yeah, it's certainly late in the. Do you call it a franchise? Like,
yeah, you're right. Like, are they even meant to be the same Dracula, or are they all just like a Dracula, different non-connecting films? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a good question. All right, next up is the Blues Brothers. This is getting a new anniversary steelbook release. This is from 1980, so we're looking at 45 years of the Blues Brothers this year. December 9th, this comes out, and the only thing that's new here is there is a new featurette called On a Mission from God, the story of the Blues Brothers, going behind the scenes on the chaos, comedy, and car crashes with new interviews and never before told stories from the cast and crew.
That's cool. I haven't seen this in years.
Yeah.
That's a fun movie. Down with the Illinois Nazis. Boo, Nazis.
Yeah. It's been a long time for me as well. I certainly would not mind seeing it again, but I already got the old 4K. I don't need it just for a new bonus feature, sadly.
Yeah, I get it. Like, yeah.
All right. Next up is Lionsgate Limited. We've kind of been counting down the days for this. I do like that on their site they post when the next one coming out is going to be, so you know, like, hey, I don't need to come back to the site if I'm not buying anything until this date. But we finally got details on The Descent. This is the one that people have been waiting on for a little bit. This is coming out fairly quickly too, November 11th on 4K Steelbook. And I really like the way that they designed the steelbook on this. It looks nice. There's probably going to be some debossing going on. If you get this, the Lionsgate Limited extras that they have will be the Poetic Pain, the film score, and What Lies Beneath, re-exploring The Descent, plus a whole bunch of archival extras. This does have both versions of the film, so you don't need to worry about if it's getting the American ending or the UK ending. It's got both. Don't worry. Of course, now with this being announced, a lot of people are asking if anybody else is going to put this out and speculating that it might be Second Sight, which wouldn't surprise me. They've already done stuff that Lionsgate Limited has done. But tell me, sir, have you seen The Descent? Any thoughts?
I haven't. It's a big blind spot for me. Man, I've heard about it for years. Definitely need to check it out sometime.
It is a wonderful film. It is quite terrifying,
Mhm.
and it's one I am. I'll see what the chat says because I understand that this is very scary, but this is one of the ones I'm considering showing my kids this month because even though it's very scary, like there's hardly any there's no nudity. There's
Interesting.
nothing
Okay.
really sexual other than like there was an implied affair between a couple people,
Mm.
but it's not even like implied on screen. They talk about it.
Sure.
Very little profanity. It's just terrifying. Yeah.
No, I've heard good things. Definitely.
I am down to traumatize my kids this month, I promise. So here it is. We had mentioned it earlier. American Psycho coming to a limited edition VHS from Lionsgate Limited. This releases on December 9th. And as far as I know, this was sold out earlier today, unless they put up more copies of this. This was up there for $30. $30 and it sold out, Connor, in 2025. How do you feel about it?
Hey, I'm happy people are buying it. You know, happy people are embracing it. Hopefully, they'll. I'm only because like, are they gonna sell a VCR to go with it? Like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people don't have VCRs right now. So people who buy this, hopefully they buy a VCR too, and then they'll buy other VHS tapes.
Yeah, I mean, that is the only thing that hurts with this, I think, is like, sure, vinyl is pretty popular still, but we're still selling turntables and we're still
Yeah.
making turntables.
Mhm.
If we were making and selling VCRs actively and I didn't have to buy them at a thrift store, I'd be a lot more supportive.
I wonder if someone will take up that job and start making, like, I don't know, like, even if they're really, just consumer friendly, low, even low quality, but like make some VCR, make new VCRs. I don't know if I don't know what the the parameters that are, but I think there could be a market there if this keeps happening with boutique VHS from major distributors. Maybe someone can start making VCRs again.
It would be a good sign if people wanted to go down that route. Hardware is normally where like the confidence comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, everybody starts talking about is physical media going away. They're still making 4K players. If the last manufacturer shuts down, then I'll start to get pretty worried.
Yeah.
But if you don't want it on VHS, don't worry. They are releasing American Psycho on a 4K, not Steelbook, but in this collector's edition presentation here. They've got a CD jewel case that is here to play off of the Huey Lewis music in the film. We've got a 25th anniversary 4K premium collector's edition with an outer box featuring the iconic Christian Bale image. And then we've got some new extras in here. Savage Satire, American Psycho at 25, A World of Perfect Surfaces, Visual Aesthetic, an amuse-bouche main title, and then Q&A with the co-writer and director Mary Herron, plus all kinds of archival extras. I've already got the old 4K, so again, I have no reason for this. However, if you just never have upgraded, this is a pretty neat package if you like the movie.
I do like the cover. That's quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, good movie. Like it. See it. Next up, Walking Tall from 2004, getting a 4K release from Kino on December 9th. We get a new audio commentary by Brandon Strusnig. We got a couple of archival commentaries that are on here, and then all kinds of archival extras on the Blu-ray. Have you seen Walking Tall?
I have not. This is I'll say I'm a big okay, all right, I get it, Def Crocodile. I get it. Yeah. VHS. Let me have my VHS. No need to criticize me, man. I'm a big defender of Scorpion King when it comes to young Dwayne Johnson. I'm a big fan of that movie. That's a good time.
Young PlayStation 1 graphics cutscenes.
Oh yeah. Hey, come on. Him and Michael Clark Duncan, kicking ass in like fantastical Egypt or whatever it is. Good fun times. Yeah. But yeah, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. And I haven't seen Smashing Machine either. His new film, which I've heard is okay. I've heard good to mix things. I don't know. Maybe I'll see it.
I will support the word mixed in that one.
Okay, there we go.
I'm on the other end of that spectrum for sure. Another one from Kino, 2006's Nacho Libre getting a 4K release on December 9th. This is the Jack Black starring film from Jared Hess, who has done of course, Napoleon Dynamite, and this year's amazing the Minecraft movie. We've got all kinds of archival extras on this one as well, plus a new interview with the actress Ana de la Reguera. I love this movie. Showed this movie to my kids a few months ago. They loved this movie. I will absolutely be upgrading this to 4K. I think this is one of the best, like, under the radar ish and like certainly not mainstream comedies over the last 20 years. And yeah, it's a favorite.
I've never seen it actually, but I'm a big Jack Black fan, so I really should check it out.
Yes.
I was just at a theater here in LA, the Frida Cinema down in Santa Ana, and they did like a screening of it recently, and it was huge. Like over 100 people showed up for it. So like, there's fans. It's got a cult fandom. So yeah, I can see why it's getting a 4K.
Yeah, it's a wonderful movie. It is really well done. Please check out Nacho Libre if you haven't seen it. Raro Video through Kino is putting out Young, Violent, Dangerous from 1976. This is written by Fernando De Leo. It's got an audio commentary by the guys from the Wild Wild podcast, Adrian Smith and Rod Barnett, plus an archival documentary. If I remember right, I think this was included in one of their box sets, or maybe they put it out on DVD, but I think this is an upgrade from them. Have not seen this one.
Cool cover though.
Cool yeah. I love the old Italian style art that they go with sometimes. Back down under in Australia, we are getting December 10th a 4K of Aeon Flux or however we're pronouncing that non-letter these days. No new extras from this as far as I can tell, but it is coming in a lenticular hard case with some art cards. And then on that same day, they are also putting out the perfectly paired with that film, John Carpenter's Vampires from 1998. Same thing, lenticular hard case and some art cards. Have you seen either of those?
Nope. I feel like they're both like disappointing films from otherwise good directors. You know, I love Carpenter, and Karen Kusama made the what's it called, The Invitation. That's terrific. Yeah, so like good directors, just big budget misfires, but hey, if you're a super fan, I'm sure you watch all of them.
They let you do it. You can get away with it.
Yeah.
This year's film, The Roses, coming to Blu-ray on November 25th from Searchlight. This is going to have a gag reel, a behind-the-door look at the epicenter of the film, which is their really nice house that they have. Yeah. There's going to be some interviews with some cast and crew, talking about stacking the cast with a bunch of wonderful faces in this. Lots of good stuff coming on the disc. I hate this poster art, but decent movie. Saw this year, and it's all right. It's not amazing, but it's good.
No, I didn't see it, but I saw this poster art on billboards all over LA for like a month. So I've seen this poster art a lot.
I imagine. I think this is the trailer that I saw the most this year. And
yeah,
by the time this came out, I really wanted to strangle Benedict Cumberbatch. Look at that. Even Aaron is saying the same thing. Yeah, this trailer played so many times this year. Next up, one that I've heard is actually pretty good. I'm kind of eager to see this one. December 9th in the U.S. from Wellgo, Beast of War, that came out this year. This movie starts as a war film, and then a plane gets shot down, and it turns into a shark movie. And that just sounds like an amazing setup.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, look, you're right. Combining two different genres like that, because I saw The Shallows a few years ago. That was a pretty good shark movie.
Yeah.
But Shallows, but what if she was a soldier? There we go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And this one is directed by the same guy that did Wormwood. I know a lot of people love that one. So yeah, this, I mean, to me, seems quite promising.
Cool.
Very eager to see that. Next up, Criterion. Criterion starting January 2026. Heavy, like lots of titles. Another thing on top of all the titles we're about to talk about, House Party just got delayed to January for them. Okay. For some reason. It was due out in November, but they just had to come out and change the release date on that one. It had been I think the end of November, and now it's January 27th. So now they're going to have like 8 titles coming out in January, which is so much for Criterion. So let's go through these. January 6th, we've got Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man coming to 4K from 1995. This one is great movie starring Johnny Depp. Have you seen this one before?
No, it's one I haven't seen. I love Only Lovers Left Alive, so definitely need to see more Jarmusch.
It's a good movie. Good movie.
I even like The Dead Don't Die, which I think some people were kind of mixed on. I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah, I'd say this one is leagues better than The Dead Don't Die for sure. not that I hated The Dead Don't Die, but this is better.
All right.
Next up from 2000, 4K release coming of what many have hailed the best film since 2000, and that's Edward Yang's Yi Yi. This is no new extras again, but in 4K, this movie is just going to be stupendous. I cannot wait to see this one in 4K. This is a must purchase for me.
Cool.
Then the long-awaited return of Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project comes on January 20th. This is box number 5 in the series. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people complaining because of the number of films in this. There's not a ton in the box set, but everything looks to be really great. Specifically, The Fall of Otrar is one that I've been wanting to see for a while. This is going to be a 3-disc box set. You've got extras for everything. I'm just glad to see this series continuing.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on these? Have you seen any of them or any of the other World Cinema projects?
No, I haven't, but I'm just thrilled that Scorsese does this. I'm just so happy that, I love it when, successful artists, put their influence and their money to good use. Tarantino buys movie theaters, Scorsese curates box sets of rare films. I'm happy to see if you got the name power, do some good with it.
They use their power for good, and the world is a slightly better place.
Now, if someone could just buy the Cinerama Dome here in Los Angeles and reopen it, that would really be appreciated. Come on, Christopher Nolan, I don't know, someone. Paul Thomas Anderson, you got some money lying around. Come on.
Anybody. But here is one that we've heard complaining about for so long that it's missing. And finally, January 20th, a 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, and VHS, I'm kidding, not VHS, of Captain Blood starring Errol Flynn from 1935. This is, again, a very big deal. Pretty much anytime an Errol Flynn film is announced, people say, great, but where's Captain Blood?
Really? That's interesting. Wow.
Every single time. Now, that being said, I am shocked how many people saw this announced and said, well, where is The Adventures of Robin Hood on 4K? I'm like, Jesus, just be happy. Come on.
Well, those are the best ones, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously. This has a new 4K digital restoration with the uncompressed mono soundtrack. We've got an audio commentary with Alan K. Rody. We've got a documentary from 2005 on the making of the Lux Radio Theater adaptation of the film. There is a new essay by Farron Smith Name, and that is it. So yeah, I do wish there was some more extras on this. However, just to see this film in HD and delivered with this beautiful cover, and I mean 4K on Captain Blood, like, how do you argue with that?
No, it's true. I'm a big pirate guy. I've been a pirate fan my whole life, so this is definitely, it's a top tier pirate movie, one of the all-time greats. Top 5 pirate films. We got Captain Blood, Cutthroat Island, Muppet Treasure Island.
Hell yeah.
Those are definitely the 3. The first Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a pretty great one. That first one's awesome. And then 5th one, that's tough. I got ones that I'm a fan of, but maybe not every.
I was going to say, you mentioned it earlier. I was totally expecting Hook to be number.
And
5.
Hook, I guess we'll do Hook. Well, that's like those are the 5. Like, it's Peter Pan just in general is a great classic pirate story.
I got to be honest, when you first held up your hand, I was totally waiting for, okay, we got Captain Blood. I'll give it to Pirates of the Caribbean, but then Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and
I like 2 and 3 okay, but like the first one is perfect. Oh, and then Treasure Planet. Love Treasure Planet. So good. Terrific adaptation. And look, there's so many great adaptations of Treasure Island. It's a great book, but Muppet version and Disney version.
So good.
Great versions.
I love Muppet Treasure Island.
I just
Next
met
up,
the writer of the
oh,
film. It was awesome.
That's right. Yeah, I
much
totally
fun.
forgot about that. January 20th, as part of the Criterion Collection Presents or Criterion Premieres line that they're doing, is Caught by the Tides from 2024. I had heard about this one for a bit. I need to see this.
Me too.
We've got, as usual, just a Meet the Filmmaker sort of interview on here, and then some notes by film critic Carlos Aguilar.
That's my friend.
There you go. Look at that.
I'm thrilled that he's writing the notes for this. Yeah.
On a Criterion release. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did the booklet for The Shape of Water. Was that last year or was that earlier this year? Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. I don't know. Criterion, that would be an intimidating company to do something like that for.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Next up is John Huston's The Dead from 1987. Tell us about it, sir.
Oh my god, I screamed. I cheered when I saw this. The Dead, John Huston's final movie, an adaptation of the James Joyce story, The Dead, from his book Dubliners. Phenomenal movie. Just an all-time great film. What a film to go out on. It's such a powerful story about life and death and accepting that we're all going to die, and regrets and celebration and family. It's a beautiful film, wonderful adaptation. I literally just was on a friend's podcast, the Skylight Bookstore podcast this summer, talking about the film and the book, and saying, I really hope we get this should come to Blu-ray one day. And then a few months ago they announced the Australian trilogy box set from, I think, Imprint, which had his three of his movies. I was like, do I want that? That's a lot of money. Do I want to get it? But I waited, and I'm so glad I waited because this looks great. Criterion, love the cover, beautiful cover art.
Great art on this.
And also, it includes this phenomenal documentary, John Huston and the Dubliners, which is a documentary they filmed on the set. It was like, they were there on location, and I've seen, like, it's on YouTube. It was on VHS, so I've seen like a VHS rip on YouTube. But it's a terrific documentary. Great to see on set, talking to the cast, Anjelica Huston and John Huston, about the film as they were making it. But it's never been on DVD, so I'm thrilled that this, because the Imprint edition doesn't include that. It's like, I'm so glad I waited. And it's so cool. They also have like it's fascinating. It has like parts of her from Anjelica Huston's memoir, like, rather than a new interview. It's like what is it? It's like audio excerpts. That's funny because I did pick up her memoir, and she does have like a whole chapter about this. Like, oh, okay, like, it is a good chapter. Nice. So that's just funny. Like, all right, rather than, I guess she said everything she's to say about it, we'll just use the memoir. All right, fair enough. She does talk about it.
This is coming on January 20th on 4K and Blu-ray. It's a big deal. Lots of people very excited about this. And
really,
that documentary specifically, the fact that they could get that is pretty big for fans of this.
I'm loving it, because that's I'm always saddened when a new release has to drop the documentary, interview, because they couldn't get the license, couldn't get the rights to it. Like, oh no. But the fact that this is getting it, like, thank God. Thrilled.
Well, that was already like 6 new announcements from Criterion, and they're not even done yet. It's not even one more, but they've got like arguably the biggest title left, and that is 2004's Birth, finally coming January 27th on 4K and Blu-ray from Criterion. This is the Jonathan Glazer, and he directed, Nicole Kidman starring. We've got a 4K disc of the film with Dolby Vision. We've got an interview with Glazer and Nicole Kidman on Charlie Rose from 2004. New documentary on the making of the film with behind-the-scenes footage and interviews. New program on the film cinematography. Lots of great stuff to make this amazing. That being said, I know that I mentioned him earlier, and he made fun of me tooting my own horn. I will toot Sibner's horn. Mr. Daniel Sibner is in Birth. He helped work on the film, and so Mr. Sibner is in the Criterion Collection. Congratulations, Dan.
That's awesome.
Birth. Have you seen Birth?
Oh yeah, it's been a while now, but this is a terrific movie, and it's so fascinating because it got very mixed reviews when it came out. A lot of people
Yeah.
did not like it when it came out. So to see after all these years, 20 years later, now it's going in the Criterion collection. At the vindication, for all people who believed in this movie. Yeah, no, I think it's a terrific movie. Great performance from Nicole Kidman. Yeah,
It's a big 6 months for Nicole Kidman. I mean, 2 major titles come to the Criterion Collection. You dump Keith Urban. They shortened your AMC intro. Like everything is.
everything's coming up with Kidman. Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
she's really one of our great actresses. The fact that she's managed to keep being relevant and trying new things. Like Baby Girl last year. Like she's a daring actress who's still trying, pushing herself year after year. But this is, looking back, this is one of her best performances, I still think.
Still very relevant, still great at what she does. I mean, no fault there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And finally, from Criterion, we mentioned it earlier, Kiss of the Spider-Woman from 1985, getting a 4K and Blu-ray release from Criterion on January 27th. This will be the best way to see the William Hurt and Raul Julia starring Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Never seen it. I will likely purchase this because I love William Hurt and Raul Julia.
Yeah.
And don't know how I've never seen this, so cannot wait.
No, definitely want to see this. Yeah.
Terry is saying, someone give us BMX Bandits 4K. Seriously. It's on the way. Umbrella's already said that they're working on a 4K of BMX Bandits.
And in the picture, she's still a fan. Like she wore the T-shirt one time. Like she's like, I'm proud of that film. Good for you. Good for you, Nicole.
All these years later, and she still loves it. On Kiss of the Spider-Woman, we've got interview with Suzanne Gilles Levine, the biographer of Kiss of the Spider-Woman's author Manuel Puig. We've got Making of Kiss of the Spider-Woman from 2008, a feature-length doc. We've got a short program on Puig. We've got an essay by B. Ruby Rich. So yeah, just very, very curious to check this one out for sure.
Yeah.
All right. That is Criterion. Next, we got a Ghost in the Shell 4K Steelbook coming over in the UK on December 1st. There's a couple options for you for characters. They've got like 2 different colors to choose from, so make sure you're looking at those depending on which one you want. And yeah, looks like a fun release if you like Ghost in the Shell.
Terrific film. Excellent classic anime. Really great.
I've heard it's amazing. I've still never had a chance to see it.
And the sequel's great too.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a sequel.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. Also really great.
This next one, this is the first time that we have seen one of these in a long time, and I do kind of want to highlight this for a minute because I tend to shit on VCI a lot. Now, VCI has done a lot of rough things over the years as far as half-assing many of their discs, but I will say their classic Mexican cinema line is one of the best things they've ever done, and they've not released any on the line in a long time. So here we got January 20th. They're putting out The Body of Crime, also known as El Cuerpazo del Delito. This is from 1970. There's no extras on this, but it is a comedy told in 3 episodes, and that alone seems interesting. Nobody else is going to be putting out a Mexican comedy from 1970. I will absolutely be buying this. I will absolutely be watching this. If you are into checking out world cinema and specifically world cinema comedies, which don't get a lot of love because a lot of times comedy does not do well with international audiences. But I will absolutely watch this.
That's a good point, actually. You're right. No, very cool.
Yeah, cannot wait. Next up, this year's Dead of Winter coming to Blu-ray on December 9th from Vertical Entertainment. This is the Emma Thompson kind of survival crime horror thriller. I don't know how to explain this one. I liked this one. I didn't love it, but yeah, Emma Thompson was great in it.
I need to see it because I'm curious. How about her Minnesota accent? What do you think of it?
It wasn't terrible. It was very clearly not her actual accent.
Sure, yeah.
However, it's a great Minnesota accent is pretty difficult to pull off.
I know. It's very interesting. It's like, but also the fact they shot it like in Finland too, which is just so funny to me. A Minnesota film starring a British actress, shot in Finland. Like, all right, well, all right.
Yeah. I will say this gives rise to another wonderful Judy Greer performance, who is kind of quietly like one of the best actresses working. I was just stoked to see what she did with this. So yeah, check out Dead of Winter. And then another one that we've not heard from in a while, Cinema Guild, putting out a Blu-ray on December 16th of Hong Sang-soo's In Our Day from 2023. I've only ever heard great things about this one. Have not had a chance to see it because Hong Sang-soo releases, it seems like a movie every 4 days.
Every 4 days, my God.
This one is going to have a conversation with Ki Ju Bong and Ki Do Young. There is a trailer on here and a booklet with an essay by Matias Pinheiro. And reversible art. This is a Korean film, and it's supposed to be great.
Yeah.
Have not seen it. Next, celebrating a 100-year anniversary in the 100th anniversary edition, even though it's only coming out 99 years after it came out. 1926's Bo Guest getting a Blu-ray release on November 25th from, I think this is a new company called Film Preserve. It seems like they're an offshoot of the Rialto Report and possibly working with somebody from Paramount. I tried to find some better information, but I cannot find anything that they're hosting online anywhere. So more hopefully to come from them. I also have no word on extras on this. I have a feeling there are some, considering this was a Kickstarter project.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Bo Guest with Ronald Coleman. Tell me about it, Connor. I feel like you've got some experience with some people here.
I haven't seen it, but it did play at the Cinecon Film Festival this year, new restoration. So whatever this restoration. So I missed it, but yeah, definitely I've heard it's very good. So I'm glad it's finally coming to disc.
Excellent. The Legend of Ochi from this year getting a 4K release overseas. This only got a Blu-ray here in the US from A24, but it's getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD from Entertainment in Video in the UK on October 27th. You can pre-order this now, and yeah, we'll see if that's a big improvement over the A24 Blue.
I liked it. It was a fun movie.
Nice. I've been dying to see it. I heard the creature design is fun.
Really great. The creatures are really impressive. They were that Ochi there is very cute. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's very kind of like, I don't know if it's not groundbreaking in a way, but just well done. Willem Dafoe. Always love seeing Willem Dafoe.
Always. Another one from this year is Zeno. I've never heard anybody say this out loud. I always would say Xenomorph, so I'm going to say Zeno. This is coming out November 25th on Blu-ray from Blue Fox Entertainment. I've heard this was not bad. I've heard it wasn't same as Legend of Ochi, I guess, like not groundbreaking, but a fun take on this type of story. And yeah, I'd watch it.
It's the tagline just reminds me of Tarzan. 2 worlds, 1 destiny.
I think we've gotten two singing moments from Connor tonight. And our last announcement for the week is the Ice Storm from the great Ang Lee is getting a Blu-ray release over in the UK on November 24th. This is coming from Studio Canal. I am not seeing any extras for this one yet, but I think there's probably going to be at least some archival ones on this. You can pre-order it now. And yeah, I've not seen this one. It's supposed to be pretty good. Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Christina Ricci. I mean, that's a hell of a cast.
No, I've never seen it. You're right, but it's a couple of Ang Lee films I missed. Obviously I love Crouching Tiger, Brokeback Mountain, but yeah, I haven't seen a lot of his earlier work yet. Like I just saw what's it called, like The Wedding Banquet, the remake. So now I need to go back and watch the original Wedding Banquet now.
Same, definitely need to see it. That is it for announcements. Let's go into what is coming out next week in case you forgot. The big ones from Criterion next week: A History of Violence 4K and Altered States 4K. Now, we should stress these are a big deal not only because they come out next Tuesday, but the Criterion flash sale will be happening next Tuesday as well on their website. So everything will be 50% off, including these brand new titles. So these 4Ks you can get at $25. I believe these are both $50 4Ks. The A24 Eddington 4K, that was a site exclusive 4K. The Blu-ray is released widely. That is going to be out now. I think if you bought it from the site, it's probably shipped already. The Shout Factory Nosferatu the Vampire 4K is shipping now. The Place Beyond the Pines 4K is one that I definitely need to get. The Clue 4K Steelbook from Paramount is out there. Rampage 4K from Kino, another one I need to get, trying to beef up my Friedkin collection. The X Trilogy from A24 should be shipping here soon. 3 and 3 Extremes from Arrow is out now, pretty much. We've got the Shrouds from Criterion next week as well. Savages 4K from Shout Factory. Furious Swords and Fantastic Warriors, the Cheng Che box set from that was Eureka that put that out.
Oh, the Evangelion movies, very cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are those the first release of that, or are those re-releases?
They're re-released. Yeah, they were released by a different company. Now G Kids, I believe, is re-releasing them. Yeah.
Yep. We got the Radioland Murders from Kino. My vote for worst cover art in a long time, Relay, is coming out next week. I really enjoyed the movie, but man, these aren't even like properly photoshopped. I feel like it was done in like MS Paint. It's pretty bad. The X coming out from Kino Lorber and Dark Force Entertainment together. The last screening is not shipping from TerraVision next week, I promise you, even though it's showing up there. We've got Project Genesis 4K next week. Shakespeare Shitstorm 4K from
Spy
Troma.
Family, fun show. My Hero Academia, big fan.
Yeah,
the anime shows.
Overlord Season 1. Overlord Season 2, Overlord Season 3. Tulsa Tears, another one from VCI, is coming out next week. We got some standard editions. Marley Matlin, the documentary from Kino. Solely main story from Kino as well. And that is about it. Any of those anime titles worth picking up for people that have not checked them out?
The Evangelion films are going back to Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. The idea of like taking a story and then the new story reinvents it and takes it a different direction. I don't know if their first one, but that Evangelion did the similar thing. The show was really great from the 90s, and then they made these movies like 10, 15 years later where the first movie starts like, oh, it's going to be a straight remake of the show, but with a bigger budget. But then the second movie was like, we're going a whole different direction here now. You know, if I'm going to remake this show as movies, I'm going to do some new things with it now. Like, and that kind of divides audience. Like, oh, cool, new stories. Or we're like, oh, why didn't you just stick to the story? But like, you know, they're interesting. They're worth checking out if you're a Evangelion fan. It's because it's just to see how the artist he's grown over 10 years. He has new interests now. Like, all right, well, that's how it works.
Nice. Yeah, definitely a couple here that I'm going to check out. Gary had asked in the comments about the Nosferatu release from Shout. As it turns out, yes, can confirm the Shout Factory Nosferatu 4K looks leagues better than the DNR to All Hell release that came out from BFI. I absolutely fully endorse the Shout Factory Nosferatu. Check it out if you are into that film, which you absolutely should be, because it's a masterpiece. Tonight, because it's October, we are talking about obscure horror recommendations. So things that are not usually brought up in lists like this or in, I don't know, fancy TikTok recommendation videos or top 10 releases in 1982 or whatever. These are ones that tend to be overlooked, forgotten, smaller. Many of these have probably gotten physical media releases at some point or still available. Check them out if they are. But we're going to be going back and forth, sharing a handful of them. Connor's got a few extra that I don't. So, Connor, why don't we do your first two?
Sure.
First?
Yeah, it was definitely hard to narrow it down. So I was thinking, what is obscure? How do you define obscure? It's a tough thing to define. But first of all, like, honorable mention. It's not a horror film per se, but my favorite Halloween film, obscure Halloween film, is The Halloween Tree, the animated TV film from the 90s, Ray Bradbury adaptation. Love that film. Kind of my personal favorite, Halloween watch. That and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Just two great Bradbury adaptations. They're not really scary per se, but they're just really autumnal and spooky and Halloweeny. So definitely worth seeing.
Something Wicked is getting a bunch of attention lately. I think it just showed up on streaming for the first time or something.
Disney Plus. They finally put it on Disney Plus. It was available. You could buy it from iTunes, but they finally put it on Disney Plus, which is always like, guys, you have Disney Plus. Why did it take you 6 years to upload it? Did you forget to click upload? What happened? You own the movie, Disney. Why was it taking you 6 years? Ridiculous.
You own the rights. Just press the button already.
But let me think. Here's one definitely in that same vein as Something Wicked This Way Comes. We got Company of Wolves. Great movie. Very fantastical, dreamlike, in the woods kind of film. once again, I wouldn't know it's entirely scary per se, but it's got werewolves, it's got gore. There's an amazing scene where like a werewolf transformation where the wolf literally comes out of his mouth. Incredible scene. So I adore this film. Neil Jordan, really great Irish filmmaker, one of his best films, and I'm so happy that there's this 4K and Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Yeah.
Incredible performance from Angela Lansbury in this, and
Yeah.
if you've
so
if
great.
you've somehow never seen The Company of Wolves, this is really great gateway horror. Like,
Yeah.
this is one that's also
Mhm.
on my list for my kids right now,
Definitely.
because there's like nothing offensive about this whatsoever. It
Mhm.
is perfectly benign. Yeah.
No, so yeah.
All right.
Here you go.
Okay. I've only got 5, so after this one, I'll let you do 2.
Okay.
between all of them. I went and grabbed 1 because the last time I showed this was a few years ago on the show, and people had never seen this. I think this is, yes, it's a German release from NSM Records. This is a movie that came out, what years? I think it's like 2008. You're going to recognize a lot of the names associated with it, but many people have still not seen this, and I had to talk about this wonderful release of The Midnight Meat Train.
Okay.
This movie is so well done. It is a movie starring Bradley Cooper in a genuine horror movie about this weird thing that happens on a subway in New York after hours. There's a lot of blood. There's some creatures. This movie is great and not ever really discussed in the pantheon of like great creature films or even like great horror movies from the 2000s and beyond. I definitely think Bradley Cooper can act, and so he did very well in this. There's a couple other faces that you recognize. You'll probably recognize the director. It's Ryuhei Kitamura. He's done a handful of other movies that you've definitely seen. I love The Midnight Meat Train. Have you seen this one?
No, I definitely heard of it, but but you're right. Like now it feels almost like, oh, Bradley Cooper's in a horror film. It's one of those things like,
right.
It's sadly it's one of those things like once you become famous, you don't go horror's like a step down. It seems almost like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm happy he made at least one horror film before he became super famous, just like Johnny Depp has Nightmare on Elm Street.
It seems like most people have at least one, and I always love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's smart. If you're an actor, you should do a horror film because no matter what, horror fans will remember you for the rest of their lives. They will always. So you should always do a horror film as an actor because you never know if you need to sign autographs. Horror fans will want your autograph.
Sibner has reminded me through that whole thing. I did not say, but it is written by Clive Barker as well, which is a pretty big selling point.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's obscure, but like Rawhead Rex. I'm a big fan of Rawhead Rex. I think it's a fun movie. It's silly, perhaps, but it's enjoyable. All right. Here's I'll do kind of 2 together. 2 films kind of about like questioning reality and what's real and what's not. Paper House and They Look Like People.
They Look Like People is good.
Yeah, They Look Like People really great. I saw this at Slam Dance. I was there. I think I was there, or I saw it right afterwards. But really great film about this 2 friends, and one of them starts thinking that there's forces at work, and he's like paranoid. Is he paranoid? Is he actually depicting? He believes people are shapeshifters, and like, is he right? Is he crazy? Really kind of creepy, very low budget, well done indie film. Happy it's on Blu-ray now from Yellow Veil Pictures.
Yeah.
And then Paper House. This is the first film from the director of Candyman, Bernard Rose. Really terrific film based on, I believe it's based on a book, but about a girl who starts, she starts having dreams about what she draws. She draws a house, and then she has a dream about a house, and she dreams there's a boy in the window, and then she goes back to the dream, and the boy's there, and the boy says, "We're in danger. Like, why are we in danger?" And starts turning this into this nightmare. Really phenomenal film. And I believe it's on DVD in the US, but this is the French DVD, which has like interviews and more special features. So I really think it needs a American Blu-ray release. It's really overdue because it's a phenomenal film. If you like Candyman, it's got that same kind of like dream-like horror to it, but just with children.
I had heard of this at some point, I think, and I totally forgot this existed. I wanted to see this ages ago, and I don't remember this ever popping up on streaming or physical media,
Yeah.
really like widely popular or anything.
There's
at
also
all.
a German Blu-ray. So it's out there, but I really think it's overdue. I would love to see Vinegar Syndrome or Severin. I think would do a great job with it.
I imagine
Or
so.
Screen
I
Factory.
mean, yeah, maybe.
Mm.
I got to admit, over the last few years, with Severin's deep dive into folk horror, especially international folk horror,
Yeah.
I have fallen in love with folk horror time and time again. I feel like every few months I'm discovering a new favorite. And there's one that does not get a lot of attention because people don't typically go to Indian films. But I really wanted to bring up 2018's Tumbad. This movie is so underrated, so underseen. It is bloody. It is genuinely scary. It is like this creepy folk horror around a guy that's obsessed with gold, and there's a lot of like a message about exploiting the earth in this, and it's a really interesting take on folk horror, and I hope people see it. This is one I don't have a lot of faith in it getting a U.S. release. Unfortunately, a lot, especially modern Indian films,
Mm.
are really tough to put out because, on one hand, like the distributor might make some money, but it's crazy when you compare it to the fact that if they just re-release the film themselves through like a theatrical run only in India, they'll make like 5 times the amount that they'll make compared to the physical media release in the States. And that alone is like, why do we even waste our time? We could just like do this one quick thing and make
Yeah.
way more money. So it's rare that stuff like this is going to get a good release here. But Toombad, it is deserving way more than a lot of films. I feel like it definitely was able to pierce through ever so slightly in the zeitgeist, and those that have seen it really love it. It is a truly wonderfully made movie.
No, definitely. That sounds very cool. Yeah. Speaking of like folk horror, there's a great film I love called November from 2017. It's this black and white Estonian film. It's about sort of set, in the past. It's in the woods, like a village, during the plague, and it's about this the kind of the supernatural, how in how they all get involved in supernatural. Like you can sell your soul to the devil at the crossroads, and there are like these magical creatures called krots, which are basically like human souls infused with like mechanical objects to like do your chores for you. And there's like a girl turns into a wolf. It's always great fantastical things involved, and it's beautifully shot, black and white. Really wonderful film. It's from Oscilloscope, so you can get it on Blu-ray. But I really wish that, me honestly, I think it should be a Criterion Collection. I think it's a phenomenal movie. And really, if you love like Company of Wolves, like if you like, fantastical fairy tale horror film, really worth checking out. And
I've not seen this one either. I've been meaning to.
Really great. And then I don't know, is Allison's Birthday, is that folk horror? I don't know if it's folk. I don't know. It's in
the Severin folk.
Is it? That's where I heard about it. Sorry, I did hear about it. Yeah, it's in the Severin. That one really. I just watched that for the first time earlier this year. That's really terrific. Small Australian horror film about a girl and her mysterious grandparents who are raising her. For what purpose have they looking after her, and why do they really want to celebrate her birthday? And the boyfriend who starts like wondering, I think your family's dangerous, you shouldn't trust them. Yeah. Really good horror film, really creepy, great, incredible ending. What an ending. I really enjoyed that. Yeah. It is November's in the Severin folk horror box too. Oh, great. That's
and I think Eureka released it as well in the UK.
Excellent. Yeah, terrific. That's good to hear, because but yeah, folk horror. You're right, but you're right. Folk horror. Yeah, definitely you're right. It's folk horror because like the whole like we reveal like there's like the pagan ancestry to the film. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that a lot.
My next one is one that I swear I hear nobody talking about anymore, but I feel like a lot of people, if they see it, would feel like this immense nostalgia for like early 2000s horror comedy in a way. So picture this: Texas Chainsaw Massacre plus Jeepers Creepers without a pedophile director, plus Duel,
It's good.
and you get 2003's Monster Man.
Hmm.
This is about two individuals driving this giant ass truck. It is funny. It is creepy. It is well made. It is kind of like similar to Tucker and Dale versus Evil in a few ways, because there's like some we actually have no idea what's going on aspects to the film. Monster Man is quite silly, and I think that's one of the reasons why it gets overlooked. But watching it back now, it is so much more of what I appreciate, because back, before, like, we started to lose it in like 2000 or 2001, but by about 2004 or 5, everything was just, we have to make everything for the cheapest amount possible, so we're not going like to any interesting looking locations. We're making this for as cheap as we can with, like, I don't know, my grandma's backyard for the setting or something. But Monster Man looks good. It is fun. I think this got a Blu-ray release from Wicked Vision in Germany, and I feel like 101 Films may have put it out at some point, but I've not verified that one. It is so good. It is definitely underseen. Highly recommend Monster Man. It is genuinely fun.
Cool. That's great. Yeah, speaking of like really kind of low budget ones, One Bedroom or One BR. Have you ever heard of this?
I think I have a bootleg of that.
But yeah, this one's fun. I'll shout out, toot my own horn here. I'm on this one actually.
Oh, nice.
On the special features, because I had a podcast called 1 Week Only with my friend Carlos. We specialized in reviewing small indie films and international films. So I saw this at Beyond Fest here in LA back in 2019, and then I interviewed the filmmaker for my podcast, an audio interview, and then they said, "Hey, we're doing the Blu-ray. Can we put your audio interview on the Blu-ray?" It's like, "Oh, sure,
No
I'm
way.
thrilled." So yeah, that's I'm on the Blu-ray here. So that was very funny. Yeah, but
this is not the one I was thinking of, by the way.
Oh,
This is not the one. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, no way that this is the one.
No, this one's about a girl, a young woman who moves to Los Angeles and finds an apartment, 1 bedroom, and she starts and it seems perfect. It's a lovely apartment building. Everyone's friendly. They do barbecues in the patio, and then, like, wait, maybe there's something wrong here. I don't want to spoil it, but, like, wait a second, everyone's a little too friendly. What's going on here? Very economical. This is all in one building. Smart use of minimal resources. Very cool, good ending. Yeah, so really just looking for clever, low budget horror filmmaking. Definitely worth checking out.
Well, it is in my Amazon cart, and I will be watching it soon. That's awesome that you're on the disc. That's cool.
Yeah. Another one. Going back to international horror. I think it's good to point out international horror films. Tigers Are Not Afraid. Have you seen that?
Love that movie.
Yeah, that's
God, I love that movie.
That's so good. I feel like, once again, I feel like people know about it, but if you haven't seen it, Tigers Are Not Afraid, Mexican horror film by Isa Lopez. She did the new season of True Detective, but this is like her breakout film about children trying to survive with, like, dealing with cartel violence, and then it takes some supernatural twists and turns. Really good, really creepy, really excellent film. So if you haven't seen that, definitely worth checking out.
Some of the best child performances of, like, the last 20 years, by far.
Yeah.
Mine, this is probably like the least obscure one on my list, but I really wanted to bring out this one because I think it's getting forgotten in the whole, like, 2009 to 2016, when we had this giant glut of found footage films that were either really awful or, like, passable at best. I think that there is a lot to discover in The Last Exorcism. This is starring Patrick Fabian, and I think Ashley Bell is her name.
Okay.
This movie is about Patrick Fabian thinking that he is like, essentially living a lie. He's going out performing exorcisms and knows that it's fake, and he's faking it for those that he is doing it for. And he is going out to do his last one, and somebody's documenting it. And of course, because it's his last one, it ends up being very real. the acting in this is stupendous. Ashley Bell is like contorting her body in ways that are far beyond the limits of what humans should be able to. I will say this movie has a really awful last like 47 seconds, but just as long as you forget that, the rest of the movie is really great.
47 seconds. Okay.
It's true. It's true. But it's a pretty good story. I really like the skepticism nature of it. And the found footage actually really works for this. I think it's important to tell this because it's essentially a mockumentary that goes wrong, and that lends itself in a smart way to the medium and really has the found footage kind of breathe new life into the idea.
No, I think found footage, you're right. It's kind of overdone, but it can be really effective. I honestly think two of my favorite movies that scare me the most, honestly, are Blair Witch Project and the first Paranormal Activity.
Good movie.
Those ones do terrify me because they really, because they do convince you it's real. They convince you this feels legitimate. This feels like it could have been someone making this, and that's always a hard thing. Like if you're scared, why are you still filming? But like those films make it work. Oh, they
right.
I'm so caught up, I don't mind. But yeah, because like I think about this with horror films. Like I love the fantastical horror. I don't know, they don't scare me in the sense that like I'm looking around the corner, but like they scare me because I love the horror and the effects. But then there are films like, like what's it called? Fall from a few years ago.
Oh, the one about surprised me. It's
like
good.
That's terrifying because that's like legitimate. Like you could fall off a tower and die. Like, is that not scary to you? Like, yeah, that's scary in a very realistic sense. There's no goblins, no monsters. It's just falling to your death. That's terrifying.
And some vultures.
Yeah. So like, horror, it can be what is it scary because it actually makes you think, oh no, that can happen to me, or is it scary because like, what if vampires did exist? That would be scary. And then like here, like two horror films that are kind of almost like, well, one's like comedy and one's kind of more just like kind of fun schlocky horror film, but they're both video stores. Like you mentioned earlier, Video Store Day is this Saturday across the country. So if you got a video store, guys, go check them out. Support your local video stores. So here's two video store horror films. We got Video Violence 1 and 2.
Hell yeah.
And then we've got Beyond the Gates. It's very small.
Beyond the Gates is good.
Yeah. All right. So Video Violence, to me, it's kind of iconic. It should be talked about more, but it's a iconic shot on video horror film.
One of the best.
Two of them, yeah. Probably one of the best. Gary Cohen and some actor friends. They made these like tiny low budget films back in the 80s. But it's about it's a great story. Like, I have a video store. Cool. It's set in a video store. So it's about a couple who own a video store, and someone returns an unmarked movie, and the movie is like of a tape of someone being murdered, and who in the town did it? Who turned this tape in? And it's super low budget, shot on video, but it's got a great, can-do spirit to it. It's got some fun commentary on 80s, horror fandom. And the whole idea was like he had parents who come in like, does the film have any violence in it? I want for my kids, but no violence. Oh no, well yeah, is there any sex in the movie? I can't have any sex. Well yeah, there's no sex in the movie, but it's got tons of violence. Oh, violence is fine as long as there's no sex in the movie. It's okay. Like it's so messed up. Your morality is so weird. So you want to make the film pointing that out. And then number two, Violence 2 is so much fun. Like it's like also like goes even further into like a found footage movie almost. It's like a really good, terrific. I'm happy it's available now from TerraVision. And then Beyond the Gates, two brothers inherit their family's video store and find out that their dad's soul might be trapped in a evil VCR board game. Really fun, just kind of low budget, but does what it can. And Barbara Crampton as the evil host of the board game. She's fun. And I love it because it was shot at this video store called Eddie Brandt's Saturday Matinee here in Los Angeles that sadly closed during the pandemic. So for me, it's like, oh, look, I can relive that video store now through the movie. I can walk the shelves again and I can still smell it. It was a great, dusty, old video store with lots of VHS tapes. So I'm glad it was preserved on film in some way.
Like it's not like an amazing movie. It's clearly very low budget for a modern horror movie, but for what they were trying to do, I feel like they were surprisingly successful for it. Not to mention, I mean, anything with Barbara Crampton, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Great little small role for her. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, my last one that I wrote down is by far the funniest one on my list. I really love this one. With some weird like nostalgia glasses on it now, which is hilarious because it's not old. This is from like 2019 or 2020, I think. This is a movie that I went and got foot surgery, and I was laid up for a week and in just a rotten mood, and put this movie on, and it changed the tone of my entire week. And that is the movie Benny Loves You. This is a splatter horror comedy, essentially like Child's Play done to the extreme, in a way that is a doll coming to life. And I will pan the camera ever so slightly. This red creature at the top here is actually Benny. I could probably pull it down. He's hanging out under Animal. He's always watching over the show. He is hilarious. He's got like a bunch of little catchphrases. I think the movie is completely underseen. It's got a Blu-ray release from Dread Pictures. They're the same ones that put out the original Terrifier at first. And it is just hilarious, way bloodier than you're ready for like something that sounds childish. Just massive amounts of like limbs and blood flying against windows. It is so over the top and ridiculous. It's a blast, super fun. It'll make you happy. Check it out. It's great.
That's fun. Oh, it's cool. It reminds me there's a great in more films. There's a fun horror comedy called Hey Stop Stabbing Me, which is it's from the writers.
Movie, yeah.
You seen that? Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
The writers of Sonic the Hedgehog movies and Violent Night, with one of their earlier films they made and wrote and directed about a guy who moves in with a serial killer. It's such a funny, silly movie. I love it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, to wrap it up. All right, kind of just wrap it up. Other kind of things, horror documentaries. I think that's interesting idea. I think it's not a lot of them, but like in some ways, true crime is horror in some ways. So, The Nightmare from Rodney Asher, the director of Room 237. But this is a documentary about sleep paralysis and how people see like sleep paralysis demons in their sleep. And it's about interviewing people and then kind of trying to film their nightmares and recreate them in real life. Very creepy. I hosted a screening of this because it turned 10 years old here in LA at the Be Kind Video. We had Rodney there for a Q&A. It was fun to talk to him. Very creepy film. And there's a film called The Blackout Experiment. The Blackout Experiments. It's a documentary about people who really love being scared. So there's a company you can sign up for where like you waive all rights to your safety, and they will literally kidnap you and take you to a haunted house in the middle of nowhere. And I would never do this, but there's people who want this.
Right.
Like you can tell them I'm scared of snakes, and they'll purposely make it all about snakes just to make it as scary as possible. Why would you want this? But it's a fascinating documentary. And so that's a scary documentary. I think it's an interesting little, you could say it's a subculture.
It is.
And then finally, animation. I love animation. So there's a film called Wicked City. It's by what's his name? His name is Yoshiaki Kawajiri. He's the director of Ninja Scroll, and he also did a film Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which is also really great. But Wicked City is one of his first films. I think it's his first film. It's a film about there's the human world and the demon world, and it's about two cops from both sides, a human cop and a female demon who has teamed up to save both their worlds from like being destroyed by darkness. And it's got lots of great gnarly monsters and body horror. Because I feel like anime these days, there's a lot of like, I feel anime has a perception these days of being like, it's all about high schoolers and action, like Naruto or One Piece, like fun action shows or high schoolers. Like anime in the 80s and 90s used to have like even Ghost in the Shell, adults and horror and violence. Like there's there's still some of that today, but I think there was definitely a different kind of anime being made back then. So if you like really dark R-rated anime, check out Wicked City. And then finally, once again, not super underrated these days, but Perfect Blue, you talked about it last week, and I was like, no, I have to buy it again because this is the UK Anime Limited box set with the storyboards. It's the Blu-ray, but it comes with the whole storyboards. So now I'm like, do I need to buy the 4K now too? God damn it. But Perfect Blue, Satoshi Kon's first film, a terrifying thriller about a young singer turned actress who is being stalked online, and she's not sure who the stalker is. They're basically trying to take over their life. Really great thriller horror about fame and identity. Really terrific film if you haven't seen. But Satoshi Kon's one of my favorite filmmakers. All 4 of his films and Paranoia Agent, his TV show, which is a phenomenal show. Sadly he died far too soon, but what he left behind is some of the best animation of all time.
Yeah, I love this movie, and it's one of like less than 5 anime films I've ever seen.
Oh wow, okay. All right, so what have you seen? What have you seen?
Literally like a couple Ghiblis and this
okay.
and like Tamla 2010 and not much else.
Okay. Do you like what you've seen though? Do you like the Ghibli you've seen? And
I mean, it's Ghibli. Like he's a master.
You've only seen a couple though. So what have you seen? You've seen Totoro?
No, I've still not seen Totoro.
Okay.
Howl's Moving Castle, and then what is the other? There's at least one more.
Spirit of the Way.
It's not Spirit of the Way yet. No, it's not one of the big ones. It might be Ponyo.
Okay, about the little fish girl.
I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, you've got to see Spirit of the Way, Princess Mononoke.
They're all on the list. Yeah.
Grave of the Fireflies by the great Isao Takahata. Oh man. Well, definitely. I think Con is terrific. Perfect Blue. Then you've got Millennium Actress, which is like an actress looking back on her life and her career. Really beautiful look at like 20th century Japanese cinema. Then you've got Toku Godfathers, 3 homeless people find a baby in a dumpster and they have to try and find its mother. Really, on Christmas Eve. Really cool, fun Christmas movie. And then his last film, Paprika, about a scientist who makes a machine where you can enter other people's dreams, and of course someone steals it and starts turning dreams into nightmares. So cool. What's his name? Mamoru Hosoda is a great anime director. He has a film called Summer Wars about basically it's like, what if an AI got into Facebook and started messing with Facebook and like finding everyone and logging people out and finding their house codes and turning off the water and messing with nuclear warheads. Like very, very relevant film made 20 years ago. Wolf Children, about a woman who gives birth to 2 children who can shapeshift between wolves and humans, and how she has to raise them by herself because the husband died. Really beautiful film about motherhood and raising kids. Mind Game by Masaki Yuasa. It's a crazy film, but 3 people will get swallowed by a whale and have to rethink their lives and if they want to escape or if they can escape. Oh man, and I love anime, so yeah, there's so many great anime out there.
We found the spot for you. Nice.
What else? Oh my god, there's so much else there. Your Name. That's a great one. You should check out. Have you heard of Your Name?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Many times.
Your Name's a great one. That one, everyone can enjoy that one. Time, sort of a body swap, high school fantasy romance. Really great.
I need to just I'd love to marathon through a bunch of these.
Sure.
But the big thing is now, instead of me getting withheld from, I want to be able to share them all with the kids. I mean, being able to be raised on Ghibli, yeah.
Yeah, but Totoro, Ponyo, Kiki,
yeah.
I think I didn't really grow up with Ghibli myself, actually. Like, I grew up with Disney films and Pixar films. I didn't discover Ghibli until maybe high school actually. So I came in late.
Yeah.
I wish I had grown up with Ghibli more, because now it's my favorite films, my favorite filmmakers. But yeah, I think those are some of the best things you could ever show to a kid.
Excellent. Yeah, this has been a fun topic. I think the obscure things
Yeah.
brings out so many different sides, because it's easy to talk about which Halloween is the greatest, but to find stuff that is buried below the surface is not
Mhm.
something we always go to. And many of these, like Monster Man, I haven't even thought about Monster Man in ages, and that movie is so fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think yeah, and oh, yeah, I think that's why a lot of times when I'm looking for movies to watch, I'm looking for those like obscure cult films. I want to find a
Same.
movie that like show me a movie that has devout fan base, and I want to join that fan base. Hopefully, I love the
Yep.
movie too, and I can be part of that fan base, because yeah, like I keep meaning to watch the Halloween sequels. I love Halloween, but I've only seen Halloween 1 and Halloween 3. I've never watched it. Like I've always heard they're mixture, they're good, they're bad, whatever. All right, well, fine. I don't need to see those right now. I'm gonna check out some obscure stuff. I'm gonna find those
Yeah.
hidden gems. That excites me more usually. So yeah, I think looking for I just watched Kenny and Company recently, which is not really a scary film, but it's a film about two
It's
teenage
Halloween
boys.
related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about set in October, and they go trick or treating at Halloween, and they about friendship and growing up, and it's a fun little movie. So I'm
Where's
glad
our Blu-ray people? Come on,
I
put it
know I
out
had
there.
to watch it on YouTube, because on like a VHS rip, because I'm hopefully one day that gets an actual proper release. So yeah.
Good movie. Good movie. On that note, and speaking of exciting things, what are you doing for Video Store Day? Anywhere that you got plans for?
Oh, well, if anyone's here in LA, I'll be at Vidiot's. The Vidiot's is doing they've got a whole bunch of they're doing a sale of like got a whole bunch of VHS and Blu-rays they have for sale in their lobby, and then they're going to show 3 video store movies. They're going to show The Watermelon Woman, which is a phenomenal, great film about queer Black filmmakers, and also set mostly in a video store. Then we've got Ghost World. Love that film. And it has a great scene where they go to like a chain video store, complain about there's nothing to watch. And then they're going to show Scream, which of course has what's his name,
Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy, working in a video store and yelling at the customers for not knowing things. So good, 3 good choices for video store movies, because obviously, have you seen Video Heaven, the documentary?
I have not finished
Okay.
it yet.
Ah.
I was given a screener. I saw like half of it, and then my screener expired.
Oh no.
And so I need to be able to see it. But well, speaking of that too, I should say, and I don't even think I've said this to you yet. You're the one that got me hooked on the movie I Love Movies.
Hey.
That I saw you talk about it and immediately went, I need to check this out. And I
Yes.
watched it and got enamored with it. That movie is
Yeah.
first off, so Canadian. I love it. But so freaking like wholesome and like
Mhm.
relatable in the most autistic ways. I love that movie so much. Everybody needs to watch I Love Movies.
Oh, I
It's
love
so
it.
good.
Yeah. Just a great story about this, yeah, and definitely an extremely relatable story about being an awkward teenager and and finding solace in movies.
Yeah.
And also but some very heartfelt moments about like, friendship and
Very.
friendship breaking up, and what are you gonna do after high school? Like, it's a really well thought out, really well written movie, great performances. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of that film. I'm happy it's it's out there. You can get it. It's on DVD. It's on streaming. But like, I wish people would check it out, because it's just a wonderful film.
It's worth it. But yeah, since Connor's here, I will happily stress, please go check out Video Store Day this weekend, wherever you are. There's probably somewhere within, I don't know, it might be a long drive. We'll say 90 minutes for some people, probably. Check out anywhere. I mean, if you're near Atlanta, go to Videodrome.
Yep.
If you're near Seattle, go to Scarecrow.
Yep.
If you are near any of the Vinegar Syndrome archive stores, go
Sure.
visit one of those. There is...
There's Beyond Video in Baltimore. New York has Film Noir Cinema and Video, and also Alamo Draft House. Locations around this country have video stores in their lobbies usually. There's a bunch in LA. There's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There's a video store. The Video Library. God, there's some. There are a bunch. Oh, and We Love Video down in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
There are
Nickel
video stores
Flicks
out
in
there.
St. Louis, Static Tape Video in Muskegon, Michigan.
There you
go. Yeah, there are places everywhere. There's Viper Video in Tampa.
Yeah.
All kinds of places.
Mm-hmm. So they're out there, yeah, and they need your support.
They do, especially now more than ever. And that's the hard thing is I know it's easy to say go support, but even literally just to go browse or tell people about it is the kind of thing that keeps these places open.
Yeah.
2025 is not easy to survive in for many in the world. Yep. It's not just you that's struggling. We're all hurting right now. So you don't even need to pay anything, but if you can and you want something, sure, pick it up. But just keep in mind, it's like the library. Literally going and renting books will get them funding because they'll see that it's being used. So if you're going in there, give them your patronage, bring a friend, tell people about it, and celebrate Video Store Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On that note, Connor, this has been fun. Thanks for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This is awesome.
You got a hell of a week. We got a VHS announcement to cover. We got Criterion. You did real well this week, so thank you.
I got lucky. I got real lucky.
Well, again, check out all of the. I hate to say it like this, but like almost every issue of the Physical Media Advocate has something from Connor. So there's even been 2 or 3 times we printed 2 different things.
I know
in one issue. Yeah, the next issue we got a Cinecon piece coming up. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. Connor, thanks for all your contributions. You're amazing.
Thanks so much. Yeah, and follow me guys on Instagram. I'm at VHS Spectacular. I'm posting all things about all things VHS, all things physical media, all things movie locations. I love going to. I was just in Pennsylvania. Went to the Monroeville Mall where they filmed Dawn of the Dead, but they say it sadly might be closing in the next year or 2. So if you get a chance, don't miss it. Go check out the Dawn of the Dead Mall.
Yep, all of Connor's links in the description below, including the Medium blog, so you can follow everything. Thank you all for hanging out, and we'll see you next week for another big Halloween episode of Reconnected. We'll see you then. Have a good one.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.